من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها النبي إذا طلقتم النساء فطلقوهن لعدتهن وأحصوا العدة واتقوا الله ربكم لا تخرجوهن من بيوتهن ولا يخرجن إلا أن يأتين بفاحشة مبينة وتلك حدود الله ومن يتعد حدود الله فقد ظلم نفسه لا تدري لعل الله يحدث بعد ذلك أمرا. فإذا بلغن أجلهن فأمسكوهن بمعروف أو فارقوهن بمعروف وأشهدوا ذوي عدل منكم وأقيموا الشهادة لله ذلكم يوعظ به من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر ومن يتق الله يجعل له مخرجا ويرزقه من حيث لا يحتسب ومن يتوكل على الله فهو حسبه إن الله بالغ أمره قد جعل الله لكل شيء قدرا. واللائي يئسن من المحيض من نسائكم إن ارتبتم فعدتهن 3 أشهر واللائي لم يحضن وأولاة الأحمال أجلهن أن يضعن حملهن ومن يتق الله يجعل له من أمره يسرا. ذلك أمر الله أنزله إليكم ومن يتق الله يكفر عنه سيئاته ويعظم له أجرا. أسكنوهن من حيث سكنتم من وجدكم ولا تضاروهن لتضيقوا عليهن وإن كن أولات حمل فأنفقوا عليهن حتى يضعن حملهن فإن أرضعن لكم فآتوهن أجورهن وأتمروا بينكم بمعروف وإن تعاسرتم فسترضع له أخرى لينفق ذو سعة من سعته ومن قدر عليه رزقه فلينفق مما آتاه الله لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا ما آتاها سيجعل الله بعد عسر يسرا. وكأين من عتت عن أمر ربها ورسله فحاسبناها حسابا شديدا وعذبناها عذابا نكرا فذاقت وبال أمرها وكان عاقبة أمرها خسرا. أعد الله لهم عذابا شديدا فاتقوا الله يا أولي الألباب الذين آمنوا قد أنزل الله إليكم ذكرا رسولا يتلو عليكم آيات الله مبينات ليخرج الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات من الظلمات إلى النور ومن يؤمن بالله ويعمل صالحا يدخله جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا قد أحسن الله له رزقا. الله الذي خلق 7 سماوات ومن الأرض مثلهن يتنزل الأمر بينهن لتعلموا أن الله على كل شيء قدير وأن الله قد أحاط بكل.
As the gender war rages on, in order to keep the peace, we must discuss the exact facts. Welcome to Exactly. I'm your host, Saudi Imam. Remove your shoes, enter upon your right foot, upon the right state of mind, bi-idhnillah. Topic: the first, or landing on the moon, the first man to treat a woman right. Landing on the moon, the first man to treat a woman right. Now, I think that many may find this topic interesting, so without further ado, we'll jump right into it. There was an incident back in, well, it started before 59. There was a Cold War between, quote unquote, Cold War between the United States and Russia. Between the United States and Russia. Now, a Cold War is where there's a bunch of political maneuvering, but not any actual fighting. That's why it's called a Cold War. And part of their posturing was the rush to make it to outer space. Now, people may call this, in machismo terms, measuring genitals, a swinging contest for the best way to say it, between Russia and the United States. So Russia was the first to land a human made object or to touch the surface of the moon with a human made object. The Soviet Union, not Russia, but Soviet Union, which was called the Lunar 2. The Lunar 2. And America, fearing that Russia may land a man, uh, a man-driven, an occupied spacecraft upon the moon, a human-occupied spacecraft upon the moon, America on September, America on July, the 20th of July, 1969, claimed that they landed Apollo 11 on the moon, calling it the first crew mission to land on the moon. Not just an object, but a crew of human beings to land on the moon. Now, with this being said, some say that this was fake because Russia's unmanned object to land on the moon was in 59. 10 years later, that was September 3rd, 59. 10 years later, here comes America saying that we landed July 20th. Not we as in me, but they landed July 20th, 1969, a manned or a crew mission that landed on the moon. Now you say, what does this got to do with relationships? Well, the fact is, because there was a race to the moon to show worthiness as a world power, to show more worthiness than the other one, there was a race to be the first one to land on the moon. A crew occupied object, not just a human occupied object, not just an object itself. So a lot of times it becomes like that with relationships. A man hears about all of the hardships and everything, and everybody got a sad story, you know. Very few times you'll come across genuine people that'll say, "I messed it up," I messed it up, but that which takes accountability. But nevertheless, I had a part in messing it up. So because everyone has these, I'm saying everyone because I'm trying to be nice, has these sad stories about their exes and their past experiences, what happens is that men want to be the first one to land on the moon. Men want to be the first one to land on the moon. And this is why I call this landing on the moon. The first man to treat her right. The first man to treat her right. We're going to go over some of the particulars, what happens when you are the first man to treat her right. It is not true in all cases, but we don't deal anecdotal here. We are going to talk about it in a general sense. And sister, I sent you the link, inshallah. Sister Amira Asha Wilson is going to join us once again, alhamdulillah. She's going to grace us with her presence and her thoughts, inshallah ta'ala. So we're waiting for her to chime in. Okay, there she is. I'm going to bring her in now, inshallah ta'ala. Assalamu alaikum, ya ukhti, sister.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you very well. I hope that the audience can hear you. This thing is messing up. It's not showing me where people are viewing from, Facebook or YouTube, but it shows me that people are viewing. So I don't understand why it does that. It's the second week in a row it did that to me. Nevertheless, walaikum salam, King Dog Dyer. Yeah, King Dog Dyer. Walaikum salam. Now, I was supposed to do this topic last week, and I was out of town. I was out of town visiting my son, so I couldn't do it last week. So I went ahead and postponed it to this week, alhamdulillah.
But
But
I didn't get the link last week. You didn't send me a link.
say again.
You sent me it? I didn't even know I had was to be here with you tonight. But when you sent me it just now, I read it and I saw, you know.
Well, I make I
That
made the
prepared.
flyer. I made the flyer
Mm-hmm.
and I added your name, but I didn't check with you. I didn't know if you had anything to do. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. So I apologize. Subhanallah. I apologize. So getting back to the subject, do you understand the topic? What we're talking about?
Make it repeat it to me. I didn't I
Okay.
wasn't saying I didn't hear.
What I was
They were
saying was
saying.
that back in '59, well, back then, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the '50s, America and Russia were in a Cold War. Okay, meaning there were no military hostilities, but they were actually, doing political maneuver against each other, trying to manipulate nearby adjacent countries and allies and stuff like that. So, one thing Russia did was landed an object on the moon. Now, America had
Mm-hmm.
aspirations to land on the moon. So, 10 years later, America claimed that they landed an actual spacecraft, human powered, a human driven, or human piloted spacecraft on the moon. And some say this was fake. Some say it was fake because America was just trying to beat Russia to it. They feared Russia would get there first, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to show that they were the big bad wolf and more worthy to be the top dog superpower. So they staged it, and in a lot of ways it seemed like it was fake. But we're not gonna get into those particulars. But what we will do is compare that to relationships today, especially women. They go through a lot of horrors trying to find the right one. Okay, so when they finally find that right one, a lot of them found the right one and messed it up because they weren't used to a man doing right by them.
Mm-hmm.
They messed it up. Some of them even have Stockholm syndrome where they become accustomed to be treated wrong. So when they get a man that treats them right, they're like, this dude right here is too weak for me. I don't want a dude that's that weak. Even
Mm-hmm.
to the point, some women, there's very few, some women say if he doesn't beat you, then he doesn't love you. This is not
Yes.
something I'm making up as a man, you know.
No, you are not.
So
I heard those things already.
yeah. So that's what the discussion is. Landing on the moon, the first man to treat a woman right. Now there are some negatives to be that first man, to being that first man. That's why Islamically our chastity and our honor is supposed to be guarded, you know, so that when we actually engage in that type of relationship, we don't have a lot of baggage and a lot of sad stories and things like that. You know,
Mm.
Islamically, the best case scenario for someone that had previous men in their lives, for a woman, let's go for the woman, had previous men in their lives, and then they find another man. Best case scenario, as we have in our history, was what? She married the guy, he died, whether in jihad, whatever, right? She married another guy. This guy died in jihad. You know what I'm saying? So then she married another guy. This guy died of a sickness. She married another guy. He died of jihad. So they continue to marry and then they marry again. They don't have the trauma, you know, because every man they marry did right by them, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So they continue to go for men that do right by them. But because in this society, even Muslim women, a lot of Muslim women, a woman told me, and I'll even say where she was from. She was from Philly long ago, a young sister. She said, I want you to fly down here, get a hotel. I want to test drive it. Then we can get married. And I told her, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You know, she wanted that, you know, and she wondered why she couldn't find a man to do right by her this whole time, according to her. Remember, she had the sad stories. But after speaking to her, I'm like, what type of man do you actually deserve? Because I'm trying to be the first one to land on the moon. I'm trying to be the first man to treat her right and respect her. But that's not what she was asking for. She wasn't asking for respect. She wanted me to actually disrespect her. And that's
Yeah.
Allah is my witness for that, you know. But nevertheless, what do you think about this so far?
Um, I have heard women saying I have heard that numerous times. If a man don't beat me, he doesn't love me, right? And I can relate a lot as well. I just make my posts on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I always tell people the only husband I ever had who treated me good was my first husband. The only husband that I ever had was my first husband. And I have never met any brothers after him to treat me good, to do what they're supposed to do or anything like that, right?
Okay.
And as I made a post sometime last week, and I said in my post, I blames no one but myself though for choosing these men as my husband, because when I sit and I analyze certain things and I check back on these men and them backgrounds, these men and them was lacking love, meaning motherly love. You know, they were men who grew up in a house with just their mother alone, but still the mother never gave them that love and that attention that they needed, right?
Okay.
And then there are those who grew up without their mother. So I know when I was trying to give these men love, not as a wife, but a motherly love, where I think I went off bound. Because if I'm a wife, I'm supposed to give them the love as a wife, not try to be their mother, not try to change them and make them better men, because they have to want that for themselves, right? And it's only Allah can change the condition of a heart, right?
Yes.
So I used to think, I could change these men. And then when I sit and I think about certain things, I was like, you know what, Amira, you is at fault with the men that you choose, right? Because it had good brothers who wanted to get married to me, and I refused to marry these brothers and them. And I choose these broken men. It had good brothers who grew up in a home with mother and father. They are family orientated. They show kindness, they show respect, they show love, and all these things. And I choose these men who never grew up with a mother, or who grew up with just a mother alone, who never showed them love, who never showed them the attention and the affection that they needed, and thinking that I could have changed them. And all I was doing was just hurting myself, because all they did was disrespect me, lie to me, hit on me, leave me, well, abandon me while I carrying their babies and these type of things. So, sometimes Allah does send good men for us as women, but we so accustomed of being treated terrible, and not understanding that love, we choose the wrong men. And
Mm.
I when I sit down and I think about it, I choose the wrong set of men to make them my husband. I choose the wrong men, you know.
Okay. The going back again, reiterating that you know some said that the moon landing was fake. Now they say America only did claim to land on the moon, and technology's gotten better, and they say they can't go back to the moon. How you go back? How you go to the moon 1969 when technology was crappy? Now you got bigger and better technology, and you can't make it back to the moon. They say, why you can't make it back to the moon? Where's the old formula? They said, where's the old engineering? They said, oh well, we lost it. They say NASA lost it. I mean, it's so comical. But nevertheless, when people say the moon landing was fake. Okay, let's say and remember Russia hasn't went to the moon after that because they feared Russia would do it first. So that just adds to the fact when people say it's fake, possibly made in Hollywood, possibly. But nevertheless, with that fake moon landing, how many insincere men came into women's lives claiming to be real astronauts? They say, "Oh, I'm gonna treat you right. I'm an actual astronaut
Mm-hmm.
here. I'm gonna treat you right. I'm gonna land and I'm gonna put my flag down and and you'll never have to, I'll be the first one there, and you'll never have to work for another moon landing, And then this guy was just trying to get something from her, you know. So he got what he wanted, or got what he wanted for that period of time in which he wanted it, or until he was discovered,
Mm-hmm.
and then he flew somewhere else. Now
Yeah.
she doesn't trust the next guy that seems to be good anymore because of
Yeah.
the fake moon landing.
Yeah.
So now if they say they landed on the moon, I'm like, man, I just came from the movies with my two sons watching that movie Nope, that new movie Nope
Mm.
that's out. Uh, I mean, they do a lot of stuff with special effects. I don't know if I would trust their moon landing today. So
Mm.
women are going through this where I'm not trusting America landing on the moon, and women are not trusting men that pull up looking like real astronauts because they've been lied to before. They went to the dude in the same suit, same
But
astronaut suit.
men go through the same thing too, you know. It have good men where bad women destroy them. And then when a good woman do come along, whatever hurt they had from the previous marriages, they take it out on this good woman, you know? So both men and women go through it.
I don't think men go through it as
I am
much,
telling
but
you,
no,
not
I've
as
I've
much
been
as
through it. Believe
women,
me, I've been
not
through
as
it.
much as women, you
Yeah,
know,
I've been
but
through it myself. I've been through
listen,
women claiming, "Oh, I'm not like that. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm not like this. I'm really like this. I like this. I like that." And a lot of times, women, what they're doing, they're describing when they describe themselves, they're describing the person that they aspire to be.
yeah,
They let's say their last relationship, they were very, very violent. Okay, they were
uh-huh,
violent.
uh-huh,
They cheated on him. They lied to him. Uh, they all the stuff he doesn't like. Were lazy. All the stuff that he does that men don't generally like. Okay, but she don't want to be like that anymore because she lost a good man. So she's going to tell the next man her dream of what she wants to be.
but
Now,
what about,
go
mhm.
ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. No, you go
Okay.
ahead.
Now, what now they are technically not telling the truth because they haven't reached that yet. They just got a relationship last month, or whatever. Okay, so they're not intending to lie. They're trying to say, look, I'm finna reinvent myself, but it takes to reinvent yourself takes work. You know, if I use the example of Thomas Edison, which might be a bad example because I don't think he invented the light bulb, but I think his slave did, because black folks couldn't have patents. But nevertheless, uh, they say Thomas Edison failed 99 times before he invented the light bulb. You know, 99
Mm-hmm.
times. So if you look at him for 99 tries, you call him a failure. He got it right that one time, and that's what it took to make the tungsten light bulb. So that's what it is. So, yes, she messed up. Maybe once or twice she messed up, lost a good man because of something that she didn't work out herself. Now she finds another one. She said, "Look, I'm not going to do that old stuff anymore." So she's not intending to lie, but in actuality, she's lying. Now I'm gonna use the same example with women that are uh, 200 plus pounds. Let's say 200 plus pounds. They'll put in their bio, I'm 175. Or
Mm-hmm.
if they're 175, they'll put in their bio 150. You know why? Because they feel like they can reach that goal in a month. But they are 175, they are 205. But they'll tell the man that they weigh less than that. And they take that picture with the phone up here, and it makes them look slim. So you see this big old head, speaking of the moon, you see this big old head, and the body looks small. That's not
Mm.
fair. That's not fair. Or their face have natural, character to it, natural discoloration, and all that type of stuff, and but they keep it made up. So again, people love to reinvent themselves without having had done the work. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's where that catfish thing come in. You know,
yeah.
they call it catfishing.
Well, that I was gonna tell you. If they input in that work, they will never change. Because I know of people who say they want to be better, but they're not working to be better. So how can
Yeah.
you be better if you're not working to be better? You want to be a better wife or a better husband, but you're not putting in that work to be a better wife or a better husband. You still every marriage that you go in is the same pattern over and over and over because you're not putting in that work.
Yeah.
You know?
You know, a man. I know this personally. A man knows his role and his duty, and he'll stand steadfast on that. And everybody that's not with that program, he won't budge. You know, and a lot
Mhm.
of times, this causes the end of the relationship.
Mhm.
But it really wasn't a good one to begin with. But then again,
Mhm.
it may be he's looking for not good but perfection. You know,
Mhm.
because the law says, and if there's something about them that you dislike, perhaps Allah brings a lot of good out of it. You know,
Mhm.
so every woman you come across will be flawed.
Exactly.
Even Aisha radiallahu anha told Muhammad sallallahu that I've never got anything good out of you. You know, so she said that out of anger. So again,
Yeah.
you have to allow women to be women and don't expect
Thank
too
you.
much out of them. But but
Thank
but,
you
but
very
guess
much.
what? I'm gonna tell you something personally. You know what messed me up on some relationships?
Mm.
I expect my wife to be my friend. Now women hear that, they say,
Mhm.
"Oh yeah, that's how it should be." That's not
Mhm.
always the reality.
Mhm.
What Allah said in Quran, your wife and your children in your own home can be enemies to you.
Yeah.
So look at Prophet Lot alayhi salam. His wife, every time he had guests, she would inform the homosexuals that he has guests. He has
Yeah.
male guests. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
Prophet Noah alayhi salam's wife was treacherous. She didn't even want to get on the ark with him. You know, so on and so forth. So again, you got those two examples of wives of righteous servants that just weren't good women. So uh, me looking for, I expect a woman to be my friend. And matter of fact, I got a upcoming show talk about trying to make the woman your friend. And there was a comedian that talked about this, and it's really enlightening what he was saying, the difference between a friend and a wife. You know, but nevertheless, I wanted my was one particular wife or few wives to be my friend, and then it didn't work out like that, so I felt like they betrayed me. See what I'm saying?
Mm.
And not realizing, just
Yeah.
let them be them. Let them be your wife. Don't look for a friend in them. Because I'm sure there are women that can be friends to their husband. But I think it's a small percentage. That's just my experience. You think that's possible to be a friend to your husband?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, not want to be his friend, but actually can be his friend.
Yeah. To a certain point.
Then
Yeah.
how does it fall apart?
Mm. Um. I don't know. It could fall apart by him expressing himself to her, like, you go to your best friend, you tell your best friend something,
Mm.
but then, she now run her mouth and go and say what he tell her in confidence, and if he hear it back, that could break his trust and break the friendship you all have. So, but then it have some men just don't give their wife that opportunity though. It's like you marry her, but you just can't trust her to tell her certain things. You don't want to be that friend with her, but yet you go out there and you try to be friends with other women, you know,
Well,
which I think
we can't have female friends. I mean,
what?
when you talk about
Really?
friends, Muslim men can't
Really?
have female
Why not?
friends.
I was told ain't nothing wrong if a Muslim man and a Muslim woman speaking once they know their boundaries.
What is the purpose of speaking? Speaking for marriage or speaking just, you know?
No, speaking like friend wise.
Um,
So I was like, I never heard about that though. You know, I
no,
never heard about that.
that's really dangerous because, like for instance,
Exactly. Exactly, it is.
Before I learned how to do my own graphics, there was a sister that did graphics, so I would have her, hire her to do some of my graphics and stuff like that. That was the relationship. Maybe another sister was good with this or that, and I would have them do whatever, help me out, and I ask their advice on something that they knew better than I did, so on and so forth. So with that being said, yeah, but just to have someone just to chat up is really really dangerous, unless they're giving some type of Islamic advice or something like that, or some type of counsel, that's different. But just to, I mean, because like when I think friendship, like my sons are my friends, they're my sons, but they're my friends as well. So if I want to go to movies with somebody, if I don't go with my wife, I go with my sons, things like that. So uh, getting back to the topic, uh, again, same as when insincere men, same as when insincere men uh, approach a woman as a bona fide astronaut, saying that, I'm gonna be the first one to land on the moon, meaning I'm gonna be the first man to treat you right, and then that doesn't work out, it ruins it for the next man that is sincere, because she won't be able to differentiate or distinguish. That's why the wali's role is important when we talk about it as Muslim. As Muslims, the wali's or the wakil's role is very, very important. And a lot of times this thing is abused or circumvented, so it doesn't. You don't get the protections that Allah Ta'ala is allowing you, or that allots for you. You don't get that protection because you're trying to go around it, or you're going against your wali's wishes. You didn't put yourself in a position where you already fell in love with the brother, so now you make it hard on your wakil, to actually do his job because uh, of the emotions that are already involved. And walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu to every one that gave taslim, saxation, Asadullah, Khadija, Sister Khadija, alhamdulillah. Uh, so just to catch up, but nevertheless, moving on, women have complained. They said that I confided in this guy. I confessed my innermost experiences, my innermost thoughts, my innermost emotions to this guy. He turns around and uses the same thing that others used to hurt me. He turned around and used the same thing against me and hurt me himself. So again, this is another way of landing on the moon. That this guy presents himself as an astronaut, saying he's ready to land, uh, his Apollo on your moon, and you confide and say, "Yeah, I'm glad you came. I've been waiting on you so long. Um, Finally, I got me a good one, you know." And then you tell him, "Yeah, because the last guy did me like this, and the guy before him did me like this, and I went through this situation with this other guy that was trying to marry me, and so on and so forth." And you tell him all of that, and let's say you told him one thing like, "Yeah, uh, I gave the guy my ATM card number because I wanted him to pick me up something to eat, and he didn't have any money on him, so I wanted him to pick me up something to eat. I give him my ATM card, he wipe out my bank account." So what happens? You meet the new guy. He said, "I can't believe they did that. Astaghfirullah," right?
Mm-hmm.
So next time he got your ATM, he wipes your account out because he know you're a sucker.
Exactly.
He knows you're a sucker.
Exactly.
So it's hard to measure astronauts. That's why you need somebody like NASA. NASA would represent your Wakil or your Wali. NASA would say, "Okay, this person's an astronaut. He been tried, true, and tested. Went to classes, had all the experiences, and with I forgot what they call that I forgot what they call that. But anyway, he has all the experiences, all the training. He's an actual astronaut. That's what the Wali or Wakil's job is. So the problem is, sisters got dudes landing on their moon, that haven't that don't have the training, don't have the astronaut training. They don't have it. And then they blame brothers in general, and it comes out that there are no good brothers.
No, it doesn't mean that.
Yeah.
Even though if we put there are no good brothers, we don't really mean all brothers do. We speak, we know it have good men and we know it have bad men, right? So sometimes when we say there are no good brothers, we don't always mean that all brothers are bad. No, it doesn't mean that all brothers are bad.
Yeah, I
Because
understand what they're trying to say.
I personally know it have good brothers. It have good men. They're just hard to find. Just like how it have good sisters who just hard to find.
Yeah, it's I would say I made a lot of bad choices. I can't say that all sisters are bad. I have a good wife, so
Alhamdulillah.
I can't say all Muslims, alhamdulillah, I can't say all Muslims are bad, all Muslim women are bad, or all black women are bad, or all this type of women are bad, or all this type of women are good, all these type of women are good. I can't say that. I don't have the experience with all the women. So when women say, when they actually, I know what they mean. They mean in their experience, or listening to their friends, bad talk bad about their husbands. But strangely, a lot of their friends won't leave their husbands, So,
Mm-hmm.
but and they like to talk bad about them. They shouldn't give that an ear. Say, look, when you divorce, then we'll talk. Let's not talk while you're married, because it don't make any
Mm-hmm.
sense. It don't make
Mm-hmm.
sense. So anyway, what it is that, like I say, they use uh, women complain that men are using their past to bring it back in their face and hurt them the same way the
Yeah.
man before has. And when women say there aren't any good men, yes, they don't mean all men or no men are good. That's why I sarcastically asked, as one sister say, ain't no good Muslim brothers. I'ma find me a kafir, make him a Muslim, and marry him. And I say Allah makes Muslims. I say you already in kufr looking for a kafir. Because only Allah make Muslims. I mean, what are you gonna do with that kafir? What are you gonna do with that kafir to make him want to marry you? He don't know how your body look. What you gonna do? Show him your body? You know? He don't know how you are in bed. What you gonna do? Let him test drive? I mean, how you gonna behave with this kafir dude? Oh, he respect me because I'm modest. Oh yeah, the kafir's looking for modesty. Did you see his last woman?
Y-
You know, they're not
Yeah,
looking for
but
modesty.
but
They looking
still,
for
but
what's under your so-called modesty. That's
no, we
what they're
can't
looking
say
for.
that. Can't say that. We cannot say that. Because just like how Muslim men does meet these kafir women and, bring them into the folds of Islam, thinking they could bring women into the folds of Islam, not knowing that Allah said in Surah Kaf, who he guides is rightly guided, right? And who he leaves to go astray, no one can bring them, no one can guide them, right? So when these men and them picking up these non-Muslim women and thinking, yeah, I bring she into Islam, she put on her hijab, whatever. The moment they divorce, she take that hijab off. Majority of them, I wouldn't say all, because it have some who does keep the hijab on and still practicing their deen, right? But I find brothers as be hard on sisters when a sister say, you know what, it's better I go and look for a non-Muslim man and teach him the deen and bring him into Islam.
You know what the problem with that
It is
is?
really,
You know what the problem with that is?
mm,
Muslim men are allowed to marry Kafir women. Muslim women are not allowed to marry
no.
Kafir men. A Muslim woman cannot
No,
look for a
Allah
Kafir
never
man.
said marry the Kafir woman. Allah never said that. He said marry the woman of the books, which is the
Those are
Christian or the
Kafirs.
Jews, and they have to be chaste
Hold on. Jews and
women.
Christians are Kafirs. Now we can go into the ayat because Allah says Muslimat for the people of the book, and He says Muslimat for the Muslim
Uh-huh.
women too. So that means a lot of Muslim women are
Uh-huh.
unqualified too.
Okay, and Allah also
It's
said, right?
it's the same rule, right? It's the same rule for the Kafir woman, people of the book, Jews or Christians, and it's the same rule for the Muslim woman. But if I go to a sister that's in the Kaaba like you are, right, and I say I want to marry this
Uh-huh.
sister, none of y'all will say she's disqualified.
But she is who? A sister who wearing a
No,
niqab
none of
or
y'all would
a
say she's
non-Muslim?
disqualified. No, no. let me explain something to you. I
Mm-hmm.
go and I
Mm-hmm.
find, I'm gonna go Jewish. I go and I find a
Uh-huh.
Jewish woman, okay? And
Uh-huh.
I say I'm gonna marry this woman. The sisters will
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, is she chaste? Does she know the Hebrew prayers? Does
Yeah.
she?" No,
Yeah,
hold
because
on.
this is what
No, no,
mm-hmm.
no. That's not what the Quran says.
That is what Allah said.
No,
Allah,
no.
even
It
though
says
Allah,
musanat.
even though
No, musanat. That's what it says. It does not say she has to know the Torah. It does not say she has to
no, no,
know
no. I'm not
Hebrew.
talking about that. No, no, I'm not talking about that. You say
Okay.
we
It
will
says,
ask if she chaste and these type of thing, but Allah say
hold on, hold
marry
on.
the women of the books,
Women of
but
the
those who
book,
are
women of the
chaste,
book that are
but those who are
muhsanat,
chaste.
that are muhsanat. It doesn't say chaste. It says muhsanat. You know what muhsanat means?
Oh,
It doesn't mean virgin. Muhsanat doesn't mean virgin because it would disqualify
mm-hmm.
Muslim women that are not virgin. It's the
Mm.
same rule. It's the same Arabic.
Okay.
If you go through the Arabic, it's the same. It says the believing women that are muhsanat, and it says people of the book, women of the people of the book that are muhsanat. It's the same
Okay.
rule. So hold on. Listen to this. I meet a Jewish woman and I say I'm going to marry
Mm-hmm.
her. All the
Mm-hmm.
sisters are going to say, is she chaste, right? Right?
Yeah.
I meet a
Yeah.
Niqabi. Full Niqab, all black, right? I say I'm going to marry her. What are the sisters are going to say?
Alhamdulillah.
They never talk about chaste, right? They don't
No,
mention chaste, right? Why? Because she's automatically chaste?
because what?
Is she automatically chaste because she has on Niqab?
Doesn't Allah forgive sins when you take your shahada?
There you go. Allah forgiving sins when you take shahada doesn't mean a sister with niqab is chaste. It does not.
Okay, but she
Shahada
is still
does
better.
not look.
Okay, but she is still better than a non-Muslim woman,
Okay, look. Let me explain
isn't
something to
her?
you. Explain something to
Because
you.
Allah also that's now Allah
Hold on.
also said, mm,
There are sisters in New. I don't know if y'all got them there. I heard we got one here in our city. I don't know her. I think I know who it is, but I don't go to strip clubs, so I don't know. In Philly, it's common for niqabis to strip. In New York, it's common for them to strip. In Detroit, it's common for them to strip. Okay, these are Muslim sisters by day. At night, they turn into something else. Okay, so I'm telling you, this sister in niqab that you saw in Walmart during the day, is she chaste?
I don't know, like between she
Thank
and
you, thank
Allah.
you. That's what I'm saying. So Allah says not only are the believing women that are muhsanat lawful to you, but the women of the people of the book that are
Mm-hmm.
muhsanat are lawful to you. So Allah gives the
Okay.
same qualification. Why aren't Muslim women disqualified? Why aren't some of them disqualified? Like I told you, there are sisters I could knock down without marrying right now. Sisters have invited
Mm.
me to hotels. Sisters have this and that. I could knock them down. So wouldn't they be disqualified?
You all still cannot marry the Kafir woman.
Oh, okay,
The
see, see,
Kafir women are different
see,
than
you,
you all
you you
still
can't
cannot marry
stand
the
on the ayat then
Kafirs.
ignore it at the same time. You can't stand on it then
You
ignore
all
it at the same
still
time.
cannot marry the Kafirs. Allah say marry the women of the books, which is
Those are
Christian and the
kafirs.
Jews.
Women of the book
Right?
are
And
kafirs.
not a Kafir, they may be
Jews and Christians
unbelievers.
are
No,
kuffar.
and
Jews and
yet they
Christians
are
are
kufa
kuffar.
because of what they're practicing now, right?
You
What they're
just said
practicing
you
now.
can't
But
marry a
back in the
kafir, but
days,
Allah says you can. Which one is it? Can you marry them or not marry them? People of the
I
book are
cannot,
kafirs. People of the book are
I cannot
kafirs.
marry a kafir. No, of course I cannot marry a non-Muslim man, right?
You can't.
But what it is, no, I cannot, right? But
But
what
you
it is,
can
I
look
am
for one,
saying,
right? And make him a Muslim, right?
no. But if I look for one and I teach
You
him the
can't
deen and
give a kafir
he
dawah. You cannot give a kafir dawah to
listen,
make them Muslim.
okay.
It's
Okay,
impossible.
even if I cannot give, all right, but listen, if I cannot give him dawah, right?
Okay.
All right, I meet this non-Muslim man. I can't give him dawah, as you say I cannot give him dawah,
You'll
right?
send him to the masjid, right?
Okay, I take him to the masjid.
You'll
The
take him to
brothers
the
and them
masjid or you'll
teach.
send him there.
Well, I was send him by the masjid. The brothers and
Because
them,
if you
he could
take
go
him to
in.
the masjid, your reputation, the brother's gonna be like, why? What is she doing? You know?
Okay, oh gosh, listen to what I'm going to say now,
Okay,
right?
go ahead.
Okay, I send him to the masjid. He tell the brothers and them he interested in learning Islam and he wants to become a Muslim and whatever, right? And he there and he take his shahada, right? I could marry him. And then we both can learn about Islam together. Where he can go in the masjid, do his classes, and learn his deen, and probably he might be better than some of these Muslim brothers who
Okay,
don't
let me
even
explain
know
something to you.
anything.
Let me ask you this question. I just spoke about NASA being the example of a wali or wakil, and the
Uh-huh.
astronauts being the example of the men that are vetted to land on the moon, which represents the woman, right? Okay, I gave that
Mm-hmm.
scenario. NASA, wali, wakil, astronaut, the man who wants to, that's seeking the woman. The moon represents the woman he wants to land on. Okay, in your
Mm-hmm.
scenario, where was your wakil? Where's your wali in your scenario? You said, I'm going to find a guy. There's not one wali that looks for a kafir. There's no wakil that looks for a kafir. And Muhammad Sallallahu said, any woman that marries herself off is zania.
Of course, I cannot marry myself off, but that's why I'm
You're
trying. That's
looking
what I'm
for a
trying to
kafir.
say.
That's not your job. The wali's job. So what wali looks for a kafir?
Okay, no, but it is okay. So even
You know
if
this is a new
I,
mentality, right? This is a new
all right,
mentality.
listen,
Sisters are saying,
even
I'm going to
if,
find me a kafir, make him a Muslim, and it's not even lawful for you to want a kafir in the first place. Because if you blame brothers for having lack of Islam, they pray 5 times a
mm-hmm,
day. And you just said
mm-hmm.
a Muslim woman, a Muslim woman that's not chaste is better than a kafir that's not chaste. You just said that. Okay, if that be true, what kafir is better? What kafir better than a Muslim man?
I
There,
never say he's okay. What it is I'm
but you
saying,
said
right?
a sister could
Listen,
find one. Come on.
listen, right?
Okay,
What
go
it is
ahead.
I am saying, right? Even if it is, I meet this non-Muslim man. He is interested in me. I send him to the masjid. When he reached to the masjid, he talked to the brothers and them and tell them he want to become a Muslim and he want to learn his deen and so forth, right? Then when he take his shahada, he's a Muslim, right? He becomes a Muslim.
You find one that you
So what
like. Hold
happens?
on. You
So
found
what
one you
happens
like,
if it
right?
is I get married? Huh?
Hold on. Let me try to understand what you're saying. You went out looking for a kafir. You found one you like.
No,
Okay.
I never said I went out looking for a kafir.
Oh,
Okay,
so
say like I need grocery. All right, I need grocery store,
okay,
right?
you're in the
This
you still a
non-Muslim
kafir you
man
like.
saw me. Huh?
Go ahead. Say again.
No, this non-Muslim man saw me like me.
Oh, he
We
like
have a
you. Okay.
conversation. Yeah, we have a conversation, right? I letting him know, well, listen, I cannot be with you or I cannot marry you unless
And
you become a
kafir guys look for
Muslim.
this, right? Kafir guys look for this. Kafir likes you because of this. Come on now. Let's be
No, no,
honest.
no, no.
A
No, we
kafir man
cannot say that.
likes you because you have that
Listen,
on.
let me tell you something, right?
I'm a man.
Never,
Look, I'm a man. I
okay.
wasn't always Muslim. Okay, so I'm
All
telling
right,
you,
but listen.
Muslim sisters live in a fantasy. They don't understand men. They don't understand
No,
men.
listen,
That's
right?
why every time a woman describes, if a man say describe what do you have that makes a man attracted to you, women start to describe. Well, first of all, I'm educated. I got a good job. I make good money. You sound like a man. Not you. I'm saying women sound like a man. They don't even know what men like. They don't even know what men like. So you're saying you're in the grocery store. All he can see is
Mm-hmm.
this. You start talking to him. He likes you. He likes you. Now he wants to know more about Islam so he can marry you. Come on now.
No, we
Come
cannot.
on.
Listen, we cannot judge people like that because let me tell you something. Let me use an example. This was actually true too, right? I had known this non-Muslim boy, right?
Okay.
We had met a time and we had met by the masjid. And when we met by the masjid, he went and he took his shahada, right?
Why?
When he took his shahada because he wanted to become a Muslim,
Why?
he always still like he wants. Okay, he wanted to become a Muslim. I don't know why. He and Allah alone knows why, right? So
Did you ever
then
ask him?
he um
Because when a
no,
person
I
tells
never
me they want to be a Muslim, man or
no, I
woman, I'd
never
be like,
asked
why?
him.
Why would you want to be a Muslim? That's the first question
Be-
I ask.
I don't know. But anyways, he explained whatever to the brothers and them who give him his shahada and whatever.
Okay.
He took his shahada and so forth, right? So eventually we start liking each other and so forth, right? But then I wasn't ready for marriage, right? And he was there learning his deen, learning how to pray and everything like that. And alhamdulillah, he's Muslim still up to this date. And I think that is about 6 years ago.
Okay.
You know, we just never got married, but he's Muslim now. And alhamdulillah, he's practicing his deen very, very good. Better than some brothers who are Muslim since 10 years ago or 11 years ago. So we never know, you know. A non-Muslim is a potential, and a kafir could be a potential Muslim.
And a Muslim
So
is a
if a
potential
sister,
kafir.
so if a sister see a non-Muslim brother and they like each other and she tell him to the masjid, well, you know what, we can't be married or we can't be together because you are a non-Muslim and I am a Muslim and it is not permissible for me to marry a non-Muslim. And the brother say, you know what, well, I'm going to take my shot and I want to learn my deen, not because I just want to be married to you, but, you know, I just,
No.
I
See,
want,
the problem is you're already talking about marriage with a kafir, first of all. And he's telling you my intention is to go learn about Islam. So what attracted him? You or Islam?
even if I attracted him, right? Even if I
Okay.
attract him,
You attracted him.
alhamdulillah.
You attracted him.
Okay.
You attracted him. Now he wants to become Muslim so he can marry you. What wali or wakil approves that? He's not even Muslim. He don't know how to make salat. He can't lead you. He can't guide you. The man
He
is
could
the head.
learn, though.
The man is the. How much
could
time are you
learn.
going to give him to learn
Okay.
before you marry him?
All
Because the
right.
man has
So
to
let
be
me
the
be
leader.
clear. Okay. All right.
Women, I know
This is-
women. Hold on, I know women that are marrying new shahada dudes. Okay, they're marrying them, and they are teaching them the deen. They are teaching them the deen. You know what happened when that brother come around us? He has to learn Islam all over again. You know why? Because she taught him. She taught him some mess. She taught him the stuff that that she wants him to know in order to make her happy. Who's the man in that relationship? Who's the leader? It was her. It was her, because knowledge is enough for the fear of Allah. You have to have knowledge before you can actually fear Allah, meaning to become Islamic. There is no Islamic quality in that kafir man. You like the way he looks. Be honest. You're attracted to him physically. Okay? You're a human being. You see that man, he's nice shape, tall, whatever you like.
You can't
Big
say
feet,
that.
big nose, big hands, whatever you like.
You can't
Nice
say
hair.
that.
You like the man because you're physically attracted to him. Now, how do y'all get into the conversation of marry me? Kafirs ain't checking for women like that. Kafirs don't
No,
even
you
talk to
cannot
each
say
other
that.
like that.
You cannot.
That's not the first thought of a kafir.
And this is the funny part. You all will bash a sister because she want
Marry a kafir.
no, he would not be a kafir if it is he go and he take his shahada.
Yeah,
Right?
that
You
means
just
he's
want- you
already
all-
Muslim.
just not- all
That's
right.
not a
Let
guy
me
you
explain
met at the
something.
store.
Okay, now I explain something, right? Now I explain
Okay, go
something.
ahead, go ahead.
You always wanted to bash a sister who speak about, you know what, it's better get a non-Muslim man and let him take his shahada, become a Muslim, and we marry. Right? But you all just married these kafir women though.
It's
You just
halal.
married these
It's
kafir women
halal.
and
What you're talking
justify by
about is
saying-
haram.
No, and justify by saying Allah say you all can marry kafir women. Allah say marry the Christian and the Jews, the women of the books, and they
You're
must be
contradicting
chaste.
yourself. This
Is what Allah.
do you realize you're contradicting yourself? I can read it.
How?
I can read it to you in Arabic right now. You want to read it in Arabic?
How am I contradicting myself?
You're saying Allah didn't say you can marry kafirs. He said you can marry Jew or the Christian. Jews and Christians are kafir. You're contradicting yourself. You're just using
But
different
he still
language.
place them as the people of the book, though.
Yeah, they're
Right? And he still
these are
give conditions
kuffar. These are
saying that they need to
kuffar.
be chaste.
These are kuffar.
And he still
that-
give condition and say that they need to be
These are
chaste.
kuffar that claim to believe in the book that he revealed.
Okay, well, let me make it clear, right?
Mushrik-
You are still
mushrik
marrying-
women don't believe in
you are
any book.
Still marrying these Christian
Look,
women and them who
look,
not covering.
I'm trying
No,
to
listen,
I'm trying
right?
to educate you
No.
because you're contradicting yourself,
You're
and
not
I
allowing
guarantee
me
you.
to speak.
Look.
You're not allowing me to speak, and I allowing you to speak, right?
Okay, go
You're
ahead.
still marrying
Go
these
ahead.
women and them. Like at time, I was doing classes at time, and this brother was saying it's okay to marry a non-Muslim woman, right? So we was asking questions like, if she don't cover up herself and if she don't pray, the brother was like, well, if she praying like a Christian and she husband praying like a Muslim, ain't nothing wrong with that. Right? Okay, ain't nothing wrong with that. She husband who's a Muslim, he going out to work. You all have children together. What she going and teach all the children? Christianity? Because she ain't know nothing about Islam.
Who's the man?
Or anything like that. What are she going to teach the children when the husband is at work and she and the children is at home? Right? Allah clearly say a believing slave is better than a non-Muslim woman.
No, then a mushrik. Then a mushrik. A mushrik doesn't believe in any book.
These Christians and Jews who are calling,
hold on.
they can
You
marry.
can't
Do they
study
believe in
Islam
any book?
emotionally.
They don't even practice what Allah saying. What was
Okay,
mentioned
they
in the
don't have
Bible.
anything.
They don't do all
They don't
these
have
things.
anything. Muhammad Sallam canceled all of that. Muhammad Sallam canceled all of that. You can't study Islam emotionally. You can't believe in
I
Islam
just find
emotionally.
you all just be a little too hard on sisters who say that the one
No,
they rather
we're not
meet a
gonna
non-Muslim man.
accept
They
haram.
rather meet a
Neither should
non-Muslim
you.
man and bring him into Islam and marry
You
him.
can't.
You all,
It's impossible.
he's
You
still going to
can't.
be-
You can't.
Why? But he's going to be a Muslim once he takes the Shahada.
No. You don't know who's gonna be Muslim. First of all, Allah knows. Allah makes Muslims. You don't. And that's what a disconnect is. You keep talking like sisters can make people Muslims. Sisters can't even make themselves Muslim.
But brothers just talk like if they could make sisters Muslim too.
Why? No, brother's not trying to make sisters
Don't
nothing.
tell me no. I am telling you.
Brother's trying to make sisters Muslim.
Brothers just talk like if they could make these non-Muslim women and them Muslims too.
No, everybody gets dawah. Sisters are not giving dawah. They're telling them, if you want me, you have to say these words. Pakistani dads.
And what happened to that?
Hold on.
Because
Pakistani women know that they want to marry this white guy from college, the white guy at university. Pakistani woman wants to marry her. Arab sister wants to marry this white guy in college. He's a kafir. The father would not approve. So what do? They say, look, just say these words. Say these words. Allah knows. Allah knows what happens. I've been there. I've been there.
I still find.
I've been there.
I still find it is too one-sided when it comes to women. Just like, let me give you another example, right? Let me give you another example. Like, a man will now get divorced to his wife, right? And nothing wrong if this man get married to another woman in 3 days' time, right? But if this sister wait her iddah period, which probably is 3 months, right? If she wait her iddah period out and she get married as soon as her iddah period out, we just want to bash this sister and say about, but she we get divorced. She done get married already, but ain't nothing wrong with a brother who now get divorced and marry another woman in 3 days' time.
Men don't have an iddah. Sorry, we don't.
Of course, you all don't have an iddah, but even if this sister wait her iddah period,
hold on.
why should we bash her?
Hold on. We have to agree.
Why should we bash her?
Look, we have to agree on Islam. First of all, a Muslim that understands Islam does not bash a woman after iddah that finds another husband.
I see it, but I see that many times.
But that don't happen in my circle. That don't happen in my circle and around me without me correcting it. Sorry, it don't happen. My circle, it doesn't happen, and it doesn't happen around me without it being corrected because I stand on Islam. I'm trying to help you to stand on Islam too. You just see hold on. The problem with
help me?
Yes, listen. The problem with Muslim women today, okay? The problem with y'all today is y'all think men and women are equal, okay? Y'all think that we're equal. You think that if Allah says this for a man, it's going to be like that for a woman. And if Allah says that for a woman, it's going to be like for a man. No, you have to study Islam. A man that gets married the day after his wife dies is not in any type of fault. A man that gets married
But
when his
who
wife
say
is on
that?
her. Hold on, I'm
I think
talking.
I know. I think you're not understanding me. No, you're
No,
not
no, no, no.
understanding me,
I'm making
and that
hold on. This
you're
is
not
my example.
understanding me.
This is
No,
my
you're not
example.
understanding me.
This is
You're
my
not
example. Listen,
understanding me.
this is my example.
You're
It's
not
not yours.
understanding me.
It's not yours. It's my example. It's not
Yeah, but
yours.
no, you're still not
It's not
understanding
your
me. That's not
example.
an
It's
example
mine.
because
So let me give my example.
I
Let me
never
give
said
my
nothing
example.
wrong with a man. I never said nothing wrong with a man who get married 3 days after he and his wife divorced. What it is I was saying is, why bash a sister when she get married after her Ida period immediately? Why bash her and not bash these men just because they don't have a Ida period?
Why bash the men?
It is two one.
No. Why would they bash a
We always
man?
want to bash a sister.
Why would they bash a
We
man?
always want to bash a sister.
Why would they bash a
who want
man?
to practice who want to practice
Why
her
would they bash
deen
a man that can
and
have
who want
4?
to protect
How many
herself
husbands
from
can you have?
fornication?
How many husbands can you have? How many
I
husbands
have
can you
nothing
have?
against to say.
How many
I don't
husbands
know.
can you have at
I
one
don't know.
time?
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. But if you don't know, I'll educate you. You can only have one. Okay, and after your iddah, you can marry whoever you want if your wali or wakil approves. The problem is, all the talk you're doing has nothing to do with a wali or wakil. You left him totally out. And Muhammad Sallam said, La nikah illa bi waliyin wa shahidain. There's no marriage except with the wali and 2 witnesses. You left the wali out of all your kafir finding scenarios. You left them out. Okay.
You really think
A man, you really think a Muslim man is going to marry you off to a kafir dude?
How is a kafir if you take your
You're
shahada
what?
though?
Then he's not a kafir. Then stop saying you're going to look for a kafir, or you find a kafir.
I ever say I'm going to look for a kafir?
You're going to take him to the. You say you're going to take him to the masjid. What makes you think a kafir want to go to the masjid?
We were speaking in general.
What makes you think a kafir want to go to the masjid? That's what I'm talking. You think a woman?
But I know run an example for you. But I now give you an example where I knew this.
You have one example. That's called anecdote. That's anecdotal.
He had an example.
You had 2 examples?
Alhamdulillah, he's still practicing his deen.
You have 2 examples or 1? How many examples you have? Because all the examples of people that became Muslim,
it doesn't matter.
Anybody that becomes Muslim sincerely.
If you want to bash these men, who want to take the shahada because they want to marry a non-Muslim
you made it up.
woman,
you just made it up.
They have non-Muslim women who just go and take the shahada just to marry a Muslim man. And that's the only reason why they take the shahada.
I'm going to give some evidence for you. You ready? There was one sahabiyat, okay? One sahabiyah. She was approached by a man who was very wealthy and well known, okay? He was very wealthy and well known, but he was a mushrik. He was a pagan. He approached her and said,
I know about that hadith.
Okay, but okay, we'll respect it. Let's respect it. Let's not talk over it. Okay, so he said, I want to marry you. And she said, I cannot. She said, oh, such and such. Women don't turn you down. She actually said that. Women don't turn men like you down. But I'm Muslimah. She didn't go looking for him. She didn't propose to him. She didn't say, do you like me? Or to go to the masjid. She didn't say that. She said that women don't turn men like you down. But me, I am Muslimah, and I'm forbidden to marry you. I cannot marry you unless you became Muslim. Do you know anything about this man? Do you know anything about this man?
Did I know?
Do you know anything about this man? Because I'm explaining something to you about him, okay? He heard about Islam for years. He was given dawah by the best of men, by the Rasul Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was given dawah by the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, and all of the righteous gave him dawah. He heard about Islam. He understood Islam. When she told him, you have to be a Muslim in order to marry me, he already know what a Muslim was. He already understood Islam, okay? He went and took his shahada and came back and said, now will you marry me? She said, yes, and your shahada is your mahar. Okay? That's what happened in that scenario. Women abuse that scenario.
So what did I now say?
Women abuse that scenario. Let's say that.
I now say just now, though?
What happened?
What did I now say just now? Did
No,
I
no.
not
Hold on.
say something? Did I
One thing
not
we have to do.
say
One thing we have to
if
do.
a
We
non-Muslim
have to
man,
stop.
did I not say a non-Muslim man, if even if I meet this non-Muslim man and he
Okay.
approach me and telling me he likes me, right?
Okay. Okay.
I did say I will tell this man that I cannot marry you because you are not a Muslim,
Okay.
right? And he go to the masjid, take his shahada. What happened if I marry him after that? What happened? What happened? I know I cannot get married without a wali, and obviously I would not marry somebody without informing my wali. I know about these things.
So did you tell your wali you're gonna send him to the masjid, or why don't you send him to your wali?
But I never said, I am just speaking in general. I'm not
No,
saying
no, no,
this is
no.
something I would
I'm
want to
saying,
do.
why would you not send him to your wali? Why would you send him to the masjid?
To take his shahada.
You don't see that
But
as
I
going
send
on.
him to my wali.
Why would he take shahada? He
And
didn't know about
then,
Islam. He saw you and
okay, he
he
will
saw
learn.
you.
He
He's hold
will
on.
learn about Islam.
He saw you. You
He
just
will
said to take
learn
his
about
shahada.
Islam.
Not everybody who learns
But he
about
will
Islam
learn.
takes shahada. I heard about Islam 8 years before I took my shahada. Another brother 13
Okay.
years before he took his shahada.
Mm-hmm.
Just because a man saw this much of you in a store, he's gonna go
Mm-hmm.
to the masjid and take shahada overnight.
Why
Come on,
not?
we gotta be realistic.
Listen,
What Kafir
you
dudes are
listen.
walking up to sisters asking them to
Okay,
marry
you
them,
saying, right?
except
Okay.
in places where Muslims are corrupt, like Philly and places like that? Because Kafirs know about Islam in Philly. They don't know the proper Islam, but they know a little bit about it. They know the terminologies, and they always trying to holler at sisters. Kafirs wear
They know it
thobes
over
in
here.
Philly.
They know it over here
Kafirs
too
wear
more than some
thobes
of
in
you.
Philly. Kafirs grow a
They
big
know
beard
it
in
over here
Philly.
too more than more than some Muslims. They know more Islam than some of these Muslims and them over
Okay,
here too.
where are these Kafirs that know Islam more than me? Where are they at?
And I never say more than you. Are you live in Trinidad?
I'm asking where they are. They in Trinidad?
I am asking you, are you live in Trinidad?
No, I don't.
Well, okay, I now say some of these Kafirs over here in Trinidad know more Islam than some of these Muslims here in Trinidad.
Then
That's
you
what I
gonna
said.
you gonna marry one of them?
Of course not.
Why not?
That's why I always
They know
stick
more
to my
about
Muslim
Islam.
men. I don't ever marry Kafir men. I don't even speak to Kafir men in a manner like that.
I thought you just gave an example.
I give an example, yes, but remember I told you, I send the boy in the masjid. He learn his deen and whatever. Is after some months after, that is when he liked me and whatever. But we never got married. And Alhamdulillah, he's still practicing his deen. That is what I told you.
So is
Just
he
never got
married?
married.
Is he married
Yeah,
today?
he married. Yeah, he married. Yeah.
Would you marry him?
No,
Why not? He's a good man, right?
of course he is a good brother.
Okay. Why wouldn't you marry him?
Um,
Don't you want a good
I don't
brother?
know. Yeah, I want a good brother, inshallah.
Okay, well, he's a good brother. See, I helped you out.
No.
See, that doesn't
I
make
have my
any.
reasons
I
why.
guarantee you that won't
I
make any sense to any brother in this room. No brother, maybe the
What
sisters,
would
but not the brothers. That
what
wouldn't make any
would make no sense to any brother? What?
You don't want to
Me
marry.
not wanting
You
to
want a
marry
good
him?
brother. He's a good brother, but you don't want to marry him.
You really want me to talk my business, eh?
No, I'm just saying. I'm like, you said you wouldn't marry
I
him.
could tell you the reason why the reason why we never got married is because I was disrespected by his family, and he never stood up for me as his Muslim sister or his intended wife to be, right? So I just didn't want to put that drama on myself. So that is why we never get married. Right? Alhamdulillah, he's married now, and
But you said,
Alhamdulillah,
but you said he was a good brother. You said he was a good brother.
yeah, he's a good brother. Besides that, he
Okay,
was
well,
young at that
that's
time.
just one fault. That's one fault.
He
Marry
was,
him.
yeah, no.
That's just one fault.
Don't
should-
force me
you
to
shouldn't-
get married to nobody now.
You shouldn't hold that against him. I don't think you should
I
hold that
now
against him.
said don't force me to get married to nobody. I cannot marry right now anyways. So
Oh,
you know
okay.
that.
I understand, but
And
I'm
you know
saying
that?
I understand. But the
Come on, Lee.
so well let me jump back. Let me jump back on the subject matter, inshallah ta'ala. to try to steer this because me and the sister can go all night. Cause she Sister Amira be all.
What? What is that? What is that?
No, I say, man, you can go all night because you be all over the place.
Oh, no. I was not all over the place. You just didn't
Oh man,
understand
subhanallah.
me.
Look. If I break this
You
video
didn't
down
understand me.
with Islamic evidences, you are all over the place. I'm serious. You
No, I
said
was not
you
all over the
can't
place.
marry
You
you
did not
can't marry the
understand me.
kafir. You can marry the Jew or the Christian. I said Jew and Christian's a kafir. Then you go right back. You kept looping the same insanity. But nevertheless,
I never said it.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
jump back on topic, inshallah, and say,
Let me go.
so brother said in the comments, if Muslims are more attracted to disbelieving men than to Muslims, we are doomed. It's over for us. Muslims already don't like
Time.
virgin men in many cases. Yeah.
What he say? I don't
He
understand.
said y'all don't like virgin men in many cases, and if y'all like Kafirs more than y'all like Muslims, then it's gonna be a
But he said
problem.
you're a stuff caller. No,
He
you
said
cannot say
Amira,
that.
Jews and Christians are people of the book, and they are still disbelievers. That's what the brother just said.
But who said it? Who said it wasn't
And I
disbelievers?
apologize.
Who?
The brother said you hadn't finished many of your sentences, so I apologize for that. But she was looping her sentences. If you
No, I was not. I clearly said they are they are disbelieving women, and you all could still marry them. You wasn't giving me a chance to speak, and you wasn't understanding what it is I was trying to say.
yeah, my apologies. Black Mind says Muslim women do have to, in fact, learn to like things in men and other women that other women don't like.
And what Muslim men need to do? They always know what Muslim women needs to do. What Muslim men need to do? You just make it too hard for us. Oh gosh, ease us up a little now.
Yeah. I'm not gonna read any silly comments, because that kind of dilutes the
Why not?
there's,
Why?
there's some yeah it's yeah it's because you got a lot of sisters that think if Allah say the men can do it, the women can do it too, and they gonna end up in the
No,
hellfire, and it's gonna be too late.
no,
But actually,
no. It's
the
not like
revelation,
that.
the
No,
Quran
it's
and
not.
Sunnah. Hold on, I'm not saying you. I'm saying the Quran and Sunnah is right here already, and they ignore it or fail to understand it, which means Allah cursed them. When you can't understand the Deen, Allah cursed you. Because Allah, Muhammad said, if Allah intends any good for His servant, He gives them knowledge of the Deen. So if a person don't
Yeah.
have knowledge of the Deen,
And that goes,
and you explain it to them over and over, and they still don't get it, you have to leave. You have to leave them in their ignorance.
and
Say,
that go for both men and women, eh?
I said
Not
a
just women
person.
alone.
See. I gotta say men. I just said a person. I even quoted the hadith. The hadith says, when Allah intends
I didn't
good
hear
for
you
His
say person.
servant,
No, I didn't hear you say
when
person. Sorry.
Allah,
I
the
apologize.
hadith. I quoted the hadith. When Allah intends good for His servant, He gives them knowledge of the Deen. A servant is man or woman. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it gives them knowledge of the Deen. So I don't have to always attack men. Quran mentions the masculine form of a pronoun, and it pertains to the woman, okay, as well. Yeah, ayyuhan nas, O mankind. That also means womankind. Allah don't have to say specifically woman. Some ayat He goes specifically woman. He say mu'minat, mu'minun, wa mu'minat, believing men and believing women. He goes back and forth,
Yeah.
because a woman asked Muhammad sallam, "Oh, what about the women, Ya Rasulullah?" So Allah revealed, if the believing women are righteous, if the believing men are righteous, if the men make salat, the women make salat. It goes on and on and on. So Allah revealed that for that purpose. But Allah Ta'ala says, "Ya yuhan nas, ya yuhaladina amanu." That pertains to men and women. I don't have to continue to talk about, if I say Muslims don't pray, what about the men? I just said Muslims.
No.
I mean,
No, I wouldn't say that.
but
I
that
know you
happens a lot.
said before you think the hadith, you were saying the sisters and them, whatever, right? And while I was saying the hadith, I was speaking to Kamali, so I didn't really hear
Okay.
properly what you
It
say
says,
with the hadith now.
Sister Nayla,
So,
I think Nayla says, it seems it would be hard for him to lead in any Islamic knowledge just coming in, saying that you just marry.
yeah,
Uh, um,
nobody never said no. Of course, it would be hard for him to lead. Of course.
but I'm telling you, I know these scenarios. The woman becomes the leader. Actually, there are some scenarios where the woman actually starts to follow the leadership of her Kafir husband. There are some examples of that. I know a lot of examples of that because she's a woman.
Yeah.
Look. Do you know? Look, I'm not gonna mention names because I don't want to put nobody out like that. But I know sisters. I'm not gonna tell you how I know. I know sisters that marry Muslim men. When they were single, they never posted uncovered. Soon as they married that Muslim man, next thing you know, they hugged up uncovered in pictures, posted on social. I'm like, what the? I mean, even at the Islamic Center, this sister used this I think it was a Caucasian sister. She's a convert. She covered all the time. Soon as she married this Arab brother, she drives him to the masjid with no hijab on her head. You know what I'm saying? So a corrupt Muslim man can lead a sister away from Islam, but the fact is, why did she choose that dude? That's what we gotta understand. One woman chose a kafir and got led away from Islam. Another woman chose a Muslim man that was weak. Another Muslim man that allowed her to uncover. Instead of calling her wali, saying, this nigga told me, I tested him and said, hey, do I gotta wear hijab today? And he said no. Test him. You know what I'm saying? So she chose that guy because he relaxed the deen for her. But guys like that are called considerate, nice, patient. That's what they're called. But in Islam, they're called fasik. They're called sinners in Islam. You don't let your wife do that. You don't let your Muslim wife
Exactly.
disobey Allah Ta'ala. It doesn't work like that. But anyway, but sisters praise those type of dudes.
Not me.
Not you, but I got too much evidence for it. That's the point that I'm making.
I cannot marry a man who have no gira towards me.
Okay, alhamdulillah. Well, a Kafir man won't. A new Muslim man won't. A man that you sent to the masjid, that you took to the masjid, that just took shahada because he liked you.
You can't say that. I know
I know what ghira is, though. I know what ghira is.
I know men who are Muslim who could recite Quran properly.
That's not ghira. That's not ghira.
Listen, right?
We're talking about ghira.
They keep in sermons on a Friday. They're leading people in prayers, and they have no gira for their wife. None whatsoever. I've been there, so I could tell you.
Okay.
My last husband had no gira. He didn't even have a problem with me talking to brothers.
Okay.
Imagine that.
I understand that. I understand that.
No
okay.
gira whatsoever.
Now let's go back to the subject. So you're telling me you're in the store again, and the Kafir guy, I like you, I want to marry you, which is not the way Kafirs talk, okay? Because he saw this much. Okay, so you say, let me take you to the masjid. You go to the masjid. He takes shahada. Now all of a sudden he has ghida. That's what you're telling me. He don't know nothing about Islam. He has ghida all of a sudden.
No, I never said that. I never said anything like that. Don't put no words in my mouth now, please.
Well, you made it that simple, though. I mean, everybody here saw it. Everybody in the chat saw it. You made it that simple.
So what?
You said,
what I saw?
Let's say I met him in a supermarket. We got to talking. I took him to the masjid. He takes shahada. I can marry him. That's what you just said. That was really simple. That was simple. That was simple. That's what everybody heard. It wasn't just me.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me.
Yeah, but give a hadith. When you rich man.
Sister Nayla said, you guys are arguing like y'all married. SubhanAllah. Oh boy.
Yeah,
oh, okay. Let me get back on topic because you. Oh boy. SubhanAllah.
I don't think they understand. We have a different kind of understanding.
Oh yeah, we have a big understanding. A big misunderstanding, put it like that.
They won't understand us.
Believe me, y'all, she would act right.
I do
Anyway,
act right, eh?
so yeah, subhanallah. So again, getting back to the topic. Okay, now what are some negatives a dude may go through if he wasn't the first man to land on her moon, and he's a good man? So
Mm-hmm.
he's the he lands on the moon. He's the first man to treat her right, but he ain't the first man to be there. He see a bunch of other flags. You know, there can the flags can be kids, the flags can be battle wounds, the flags can be something like it can be that that can be one of the flags. But nevertheless, here it is. The dude uh, was a deadbeat. Okay, the dude was a deadbeat. You know,
Mm-hmm.
meaning to his kids. He was a
Yeah.
deadbeat. He didn't take care of his kids. She pleaded with him, please be in your kid's life. It's not even about the money. They need to spend time with you. They need to know their dad, blah, 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 right? Okay.
Yeah.
Guess what happens though? He's a deadbeat, okay? She pleaded with him, please be in your children's life. They really need you, okay? The new guy comes in. He's a real astronaut. He lands on the moon. He's the first man to treat her
Mm-hmm.
right. And the whole time he's with her, he's wasting his resources. He's wasting the resources on her children, right?
Mm.
And he has no natural authority over those children. All he can do is pay out, pay out, pay out. But as far as discipline, we talked about this. As far as discipline stuff like that, he
Yeah.
don't have the same right. So that
Yeah.
man, by his Islamic right, can say, look, I can only
Yeah.
maintain you. I can't do the kids because I don't have rights over them, right?
Yeah.
I don't have rights over them unless you all agree to this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
That's different. So that's what that man gets. But in the same scenario, this dude hears that the old dude is a deadbeat, that the old dude don't take care of his kids, the children's
Yeah.
father. He lands on the moon, walks around a little bit, and like, oh, I walking around, I saw a boy. you know, I was walking around the moon and I saw a boy. He told me that he always wants to see his kids. You never let him because you're bitter. He even showed me text messages. He showed me
You're
text
talking about
messages.
me?
No, not you, but he showed me text messages where you don't let him see his kids. Stuff like that. So now we have an issue. This is what men get when they the first man to treat a woman right. When they the first man to land on that moon, they discover there's McDonald's wrappers, you know, there's Coca-Cola cans, and there's other flags hanging
Mm-hmm.
up. And they be like, hey, I ain't the first man to be here, you know. But they the first
Mm-hmm.
man that treated her right. They don't get the benefit. What they do is inherit all of the baggage and the scars. That's what they do.
Yeah.
It's dangerous being the first man to treat a woman right. You got to
Yeah.
prove yourself when you ain't done nothing in the first place.
Exactly. And that I just always say, with my first marriage, I blame myself with my husband. I did not take my shahada, right? So I didn't know much about Islam. It was in the month of Ramadan, and I didn't I met him after I think a week after when he saw me in the masjid. He asked my brother about me, right? And then we came and we got married. I think a month and something after, and I didn't know how to be a wife at all. I didn't know how to be a wife. Remember, I now take my shahada, now learning Islam. I have never been a wife before. I was a non-Muslim, dealing with non-Muslim men where we will fight, we will argue. It might have some kind of infidelity passing in the relationships and these type of things, right? So I didn't know how to be a wife at all. And my husband was such a good husband to me, but I just didn't know how to be a wife. Meaning, I used to take out all my hurt from my past relationship on my husband.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
exactly what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
That's
So
exactly the subject.
he came, and that was the only husband that actually called a talak on me.
Okay. Now,
But he
uh,
was a very good husband, though. A very, very good husband.
coming off of that same scenario I just brought up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The guy's a deadbeat. She's pleading with him be in your children's life. He don't want to be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then you come in, and even though you want to be that guy and be in their life and be a father figure, you can't be a full father figure because you don't have those natural rights, and she's not going to give them to you. So all you're doing is pouring in resources to children that's going to one day tell you, you ain't my daddy. I ain't gonna listen to you. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Because the disconnect is already there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
disconnect is already there. Now the other scenario, you hear that the dude's a deadbeat. You find out later on, he's not deadbeat. She's just bitter, and she's using the kids as pawns. And she really don't love the kids like she say she do. Women that do that, they don't love the kids. They don't love them like they say they do, because they're actually hurting the kids. There's mental and emotional hurt they're putting on the kids. The first few years of a kid's life, especially, is when the husband puts his mark. You know, the father puts his mark, and you got the father absent, so all they know is mommy, mommy, mommy. So now when the little boy wants to do this in the mirror with mommy lipstick, she don't understand why he did that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what he see mommy doing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
he see a dude urinating. He like, what is that? What's going on? You know, he don't understand what's going on. He see another man. I mean, it's all kind of different scenarios. Uh, but the next one is what? Okay, the second one is that you'll never start at zero. Okay, you'll never start at zero. Let's say, and I'm gonna get to Nayla said, does it go both ways? Does what go both ways exactly? Are you saying about men keeping the kids from women? I don't think that happens because the West is notorious for destroying families. So they're always going to give it to the woman because they know women don't do as well single as men do.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
no. I know men who have the children, and the mother have to pay maintenance to the father.
Yeah, but that's cool for. I mean, but anyway, I mean it happens, but nevertheless, men generally don't ask. You know, women for maintenance. The state may require him to do so in order to get certain, you know, like let's say he might need medical for the kids, you know, which can be very expensive. I pay medical out of pocket. I know it's really expensive. If I had to pay for my kids out of pocket medical, you know, without medical insurance, that it would be devastating, you know, because kids get sick, you know, take them to the doctor, follow up visits, stuff like that. It'll be really, really taxing. But nevertheless, uh,
So let me ask you something, right?
okay,
So what about if a mother, like a man and a woman was married, right? And the man was abusive in the marriage, right? While she was pregnant. So she left the marriage, right? When she had the baby now, he wants to see the baby, but then on the other hand, she have a fear. She have a fear with him, with thinking that, if he could have harmed the baby while the baby was, if he could have tried to harm the baby while the baby was in her belly and harm her while she was pregnant, she have a fear of being around him, right? So she decide not to allow him to see the child and so forth, right? And it's like, okay, she asks for maintenance, like, meaning for him to help out with the baby financially. And he is telling her, well, the baby is not his baby. Is something wrong with her not taking the child around him?
okay.
Is something
Hold on.
haram
I
in
think
that?
I missed the first part. You said that he tried to harm the baby while you were pregnant. The woman was pregnant, and he tried to harm the
Yeah.
baby.
He tried to kill the baby, yeah, like hitting her in her belly to try
Oh,
to
okay,
kill the baby,
okay,
right?
okay,
And he tried to kill her also while she was pregnant with the
okay,
baby in her belly, right? So when she made the baby, yeah,
okay,
she called him and tell him she made the baby everything. But he kept asking if he could see the baby. But she now traumatized from what she went through and have a fear of being around him with the baby or having him around the baby, right? So even though she wants him to take care of the baby financially, he telling her, well, he's not doing that because the baby is not his own. So is it wrong if the mother decide not to ever allow the child to be around the father?
Well, uh, I would need more than that. And you might say, why would he need more than that? Why would the man try to kill the baby or kill the pregnant woman? Did he suspect that wasn't his child, that she cheated? Is that what he is accusing?
No, it's like the woman wanted to like leave the marriage because he was abusive, right? He was
Okay.
abusive. She just couldn't take the abuse anymore physically, so she wants to leave the marriage,
Okay.
right? So he now wanted to be around
This is before she got
the
pregnant, or
yeah, no, while she was pregnant, he keep abusing her physically, right? She reached a point where she just cannot take the physical
no?
abuse
I'm
anymore.
I'm trying to get all the facts, because the way Islam works, you have to have all the facts.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
just
we know that,
assume.
right?
Okay, now did he start to be abusive when she got pregnant, or did he start to be
Yeah.
abusive before that? Was he abusive before that?
No, he was verbally abusive before. No, no, he wasn't that abusive. Stop, Frawley. He wasn't that abusive, right?
Okay, what does that mean?
Before.
That abusive? I don't understand
He
that
wasn't
abusive.
no, he wasn't abusive before,
Okay, he was not
right?
abusive.
Say
Okay, okay,
so no, he wasn't, she never saw that part in him because they now got married and stuff, right? But she came and she got pregnant really quick for him, right? When she came and she got pregnant, that's when everything started going downhill.
okay.
Because with her being pregnant, she can't stand him because when a woman pregnant, different hormones and so
Mhm.
forth, right? So
Yeah.
she can't stand him. He don't like how she operating, right? Meaning like it's always an argument. It's like she don't want him around because she can't see eye to eye with him at all
Mm.
since she become pregnant.
Okay.
But he want to be a part of his child. He want to be a part of the pregnancy, right? But then with her behavior, like, can't stand him around and so forth, he start physically abusing her. She take it once, she take it twice, three times, and then it reached that point she just can't do it anymore.
Mm.
She just can't stand the hitting anymore. And decides that, what, I want to end this marriage.
Okay.
But he don't want the marriage end because he wants to be a part of the child the pregnancy. He want to go through the whole pregnancy, right? So while he telling the woman, you know what? Well, if it is, I cannot be in your life while you are pregnant, it's better I get rid of the child. Better see the child in blood here,
Okay.
right? So,
That's a mental illness.
well,
That's
right.
a mental illness.
So this is when he will slap her in her belly, hits her in her belly, and throw her on the bed and choke her and stuff, right?
Okay.
Then she end up in the hospital with a threatened miscarriage. She end up in a mental health facility because she was breaking down mentally, right? So when she make the baby now, yeah, she let him know she make the baby, but he want to be around. But she doesn't want that because she's still traumatized by what she have been through while she was pregnant with him.
Okay.
But yet,
You know what happens? I got the
mhm,
last part. I got that part. Now it makes more sense. Okay. Uh,
mhm,
he feeling some type of way. He's a mental midget, right? So he's feeling some type of way because the woman hormones change and the pregnancy. She didn't want him around or whatever. She was being aloof from him, and that really upset him. And then he started to
mhm,
be like, hey, well, in that case, let me harm her, harm the baby, whatever, whatever. Okay. Now, Adla, Khalil, she didn't want me to ask any questions. She said, if I asked a question like, "Did he suspect you cheated?" and she said, "Wow, how did you manage to make her responsible for being abused?" I was not making anybody responsible.
no,
I was
no,
asking like, why did this man just?
yeah,
I need to know if
Yeah,
he
why
has a
he
mental
just
problem.
switch. Yeah,
Yeah,
why he just
but
switch
see,
into that
women
abusive.
have no
Mm-hmm.
accountability. You know,
Mm-hmm.
women have no
Yeah, yeah,
accountability.
yeah.
So uh, I can't even ask a follow up question or But anyway, so what happens is this: you fear that he may harm the child, right? Okay,
Yeah.
that's a
Mm-hmm.
valid fear. But then at the same time, you're asking him for financial maintenance. Now, I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you what the danger of that is. I'm not saying you don't have the right to maintenance or the right to fear that he may harm the child. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Those are real legitimate fears. But when you
Mm-hmm.
start asking him for maintenance, I don't know if child support is in Trinidad and Tobago or whatever, but if you press him through the state or you try to pressure him for money that he doesn't want to give, then would that make him more violent? Would that make him violent, even though y'all not married anymore?
Mm-hmm.
You could be at that same supermarket, that same store. You can be out with your child, same situation, and he feel like you're in his pockets for a child he doesn't want or what he can't see or whatever scenario. Because if the guy is a mental midget and he is that insane, it's better just you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's better to
Yeah.
cut ties than to keep that connection of, hey, could you give me some money? And hey, here goes some money. Where's the child? You know what I'm saying? That type of thing.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
cause a man is a man. And if he's a crazy man, he can really hurt a woman. Okay?
Yeah.
And you can have brothers and uncles and fathers. You can have all this stuff. But, it's the same way with restraining orders. A lot of women get restraining orders. They think that'll keep a man away. A lot of restraining orders cause women to die. You know?
Well, yeah.
It caused women to die
Mm-hmm.
because the man, like, I remember one scenario with my two oldest kids. I'm in the court, and the judge say, okay, we're going to postpone this case till this certain such a date. It was 90 days away. 90 days. He say, and in this
Mm-hmm.
time, you can see the kids on this particular day. And I said, hold on, that's it? I said, in 90 days, I'm going to see my kids one time? Yeah, you can see them one time, and you bet not keep them, and you better give them back, and you better return them at the... That's what the judge was talking to me. And I'm like, dude, you know who you talking to? I'll kill that dude in that parking lot. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I'm not making a threat right
Mm-hmm.
now. I'm just saying it's how I felt at that particular time, years and years ago. But I'm like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, this is the way that the system does men. Now, if I was a type of person that wanted to harm that woman, that was
Mm-hmm.
enough right there. I could have killed her within that 90 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can see my
Yeah.
kid one time in 90 days. I've never been a threat to children. These
Yeah.
are children that I love, that I take care of. She didn't have to work. I took care of her, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
the problem was, this is what happens. So if that person is already crazy, I wouldn't poke the bear. So however y'all can
Okay.
work that out, I wouldn't poke the bear. Say, look, you can see the child, but my brother got to be there, which is really going. It's really, I'm telling you, it's just going to frustrate him. So I don't know how many times he tried to hit the stomach that you let him slide, but after the first time, you should have been out.
Yeah, he had his stomach like one time, but he used to like slap in face and like like
But I'm
these
specifically talking
things.
about trying to harm the baby, you know,
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah, yeah.
abusive man, I'm talking about a pregnancy. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
being abusive, you know. Uh,
But the
I'm talking about
hitting start when
trying to
I
harm the
was the
child.
hitting start the hitting start with the pregnancy though. The hitting start with the pregnancy, you know?
But you say he was targeting the stomach, so that's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, like before we reached to that point, I just couldn't take the abuse anymore, knowing that I was pregnant and stuff, right? Because he started hitting while I was pregnant. And that one night is when I told him, you know what, I don't want to be married to you again. I want a cooler. And that is the night when he hit the stomach and choked me and stuff like that. Yeah,
Subhanallah, subhanallah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that, subhanallah. But yeah, like I
Mm.
said, it's best for you to talk to a qadi or something like that. But the thing is, see, some of this stuff is Islamic State stuff.
Yeah,
And we don't live in a
yeah.
land of Islam, and there's really no land of Islam on this earth right now.
And
Uh,
the reason why I asked that, because my last husband, he had an issue with me not wanting him, not wanting not wanting me to carry my baby to see his father. It was like it was something wrong that I was doing, but it's not that. I felt as though I it's my right to protect my son from somebody like that. And it does traumatize me. It does traumatize me. I don't want him. I say, when he get older and he choose to want to know his father, inshallah, he could do that on his own. But under my supervision, no.
okay. Yeah, that's a hard one. Like I say, you would need a Muslim judge, but a Muslim that gives you what he knows of Islam about that particular situation has no right to enforce it. And that's what's really
Yeah.
sad. That's why I always say women should be the first people that call for the reestablishment of the Islamic State because of situations like this. But uh, there's a lot about the Islamic State women are not going to like. You're not going to be able to
Yeah.
take half of a
Yeah.
man's wealth. You're not going to be able to deny his
Yeah.
kids every time you're mad. None of that's going to happen.
Yeah.
The Islamic State is not
Yeah.
going to give you the kids over your husband. And if you get remarried, the Islamic State is going to get the kids to the father.
Yeah.
Okay, 100%
Yeah.
child support. 100% child support.
Yeah.
That's what the Islamic State going to do. And they're going to set
Yeah.
up visitation with you and give him
Yeah.
100% child support. Like he got to take care of the kids and
I
not
know
going to
about
ask you
that.
for a dime. That's what Islamic State does, but it's the give and take. Either you want the protections and the justice of Allah, or you just want the protections and no justice. Because a lot of women, they run to the Kafirs all the time. They think the Kafirs have a better knowledge of what mankind needs than Allah Ta'ala. And I've seen it too many
Yeah, but if
times.
well, what about I had went to Muslims about my situation. No one helped me. No one.
Well, they got to have the authority to do so. Did they give you advice?
Mm,
Because a lot of times we're
not
limited to
really.
advice. I mean,
I actually one brother actually wanted to deal with the situation, but everybody else, like imams and stuff, but he didn't care about that situation.
well, I mean, an imam is not a. He doesn't lead a state. He leads a masjid. So
Well, no, I
you
went
know,
to numerous
I'm
Muslims
saying
and
that
nobody
this is a
did.
state thing that there has to be certain protections there. And the people say, well, brothers need to, brothers be married. Brothers have families. You know what I'm saying? One thing you could do, you get remarried to a brother that can actually protect you and let him deal with him. You know, I don't mean fight him. I mean, hey, look, you want to see your child? You know, I'm gonna be the supervisor as you have supervised visits. You might be, I'm the biological dad. Well, is it not true that you tried to kill the child before it was born? You tried to harm the child. If that's
He
true,
don't
because
admit. He
I mean,
don't.
like
He
I
don't
wasn't
admit.
there to see it happen.
He
Islamically, I
don't
would
admit
have
to
to
that.
investigate.
He he don't admit to that at all. It's like, he always throwing the blame on me. He do not admit to what he do. He do not. So I just be like, so why would I make a whole lie like that though?
Well, I mean,
And then when
Islamically
I
we go
went,
with evidence. Islamically, we don't go with what's
I have
logical.
evidence, because remember, I was in the hospital. I
Mhm.
was bleeding. My cervix was 2.5 centimeters open. So
Okay,
I actually was having a miscarriage with the baby.
okay,
Right? So, and then my eyes was full up of clot blood. When somebody
yeah,
choke you so hard,
yeah,
the blood does change. So my eyes had clot in it. So I had all my evidence about the abuse, all.
okay.
But I just don't understand why he doesn't admit to it and say, well, you know what? Yes, I really did that, and it was something wrong that I did. He don't admit to it at all. It's always like, she did this, and yeah.
Yeah, so Sister Adela Khalil, she's mad at me. Talking about, don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say you couldn't ask questions, and I can just tell by her text. Her head is moving. Her neck is moving. I said what I said. I said what I said.
Oh
Anyway,
gosh.
so Brother Black Mind says Adler just wants to demonize men.
Who
So I can tell a man is always on eggshells with her. Oh, subhanAllah, that is so funny. That is too funny. Anyway, so yeah, inshallah, let's continue. I don't want to hold you
Mm-hmm.
too long, but again, I said you're a man, the first man to land on the moon, the first man to treat her right, not the first man to land on the moon, but the first man to treat her right. He'll never start at zero. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
the guy before, uh, let's say the guy before her slapped her 100 times,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that the new guy, who's the good guy, they're arguing, and she turns her back on him, and he grabs her shoulder and turns her around and say, "Babe, don't do that. That's disrespectful." You know. She said, "I'm tired of men putting their hands on me. That's 101." That's what happens. All her experiences are going to fall on the new guy. So because the other guy used to do this 100 times, this guy just grab your shoulder and turn you around and say, babe, don't turn your back when I'm talking to you. I'm actually talking to you about something serious. Let's get this out the way. Let's talk about this and agree to something, whatever. Because he touched your shoulder, now he didn't put his hands on you. But last night, he didn't put his hands on you last night, when y'all were intimate, you know. It's only he put his hands on you because you're mad or things are heated. You can't have it both ways. It's like sexual harassment in the workplace. It ain't sexual harassment just because you don't like the guy. Because if you like the guy, you wouldn't even tell the boss. You know? You wouldn't even tell the boss if you like the
Mm-hmm.
guy. And this is the problem that us men have. You know? We have a problem with the circumstantial and situational and objectional accusations. We don't have a problem with you know actual no sexual harassment. But if I say Salaam Alaikum and you go to HR and say he says Salaam Alaikum, that means peace be upon you. And they go, oh, let's get rid of him, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But if a guy you actually like said it, he wouldn't get in trouble. But anyway, that's
Mm-hmm.
another situation. So again, uh, he'll never start from zero. Women don't let us start from zero. We always add on to what the guy before did. So she says, let's go out to eat tonight. And the man says, you know what, babe, let's not waste any money. You always talking about going on vacation and stuff like that, but we never save. Let's stop eating out, which costs us $50, $60 every time we go out. And let's try to save our money and eat at home. Why don't you cook and, let's cook together or whatever, however the situation, the agreement is. And let's save money and stop wasting money. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
my last husband was cheap too. You know what I'm saying? So he gets that thrown in his face. And next thing you know, you come home from wherever you come from and his bags are gone. And he leaves a note. I'm going to pay the rent for the next 3 months, but after that, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
It
be with
have
an
men that.
ungrateful woman. You know, if he says that, people will say, "Oh, he ain't no good anyway." Now he was good. He don't like being disrespected, and he ain't done nothing to you. All he said was, "Let's save money. Let's stop being wasteful." You know.
But it goes both ways though. It have men who have been hurt and they will get a woman and they will take out that hurt on that woman. That woman will have to pay for whatever hurt he been through in his previous marriage.
Can you give me
It
an
have
example?
men that.
Give me an example, because I'm a man and I don't know about that. Give me an example. I know a lot of men, so
Oh, okay, an example.
yeah.
Okay, here is example, right? Um, I know of these. I know of a brother and a sister, right? And while the sister was married to the brother, the sister used to be calling down her ex-husband phone, crying and complaining about her husband, right?
Hmm.
Then, boom, they came and they get divorced. She went back to her ex-husband, right? She ridiculed that husband who she divorced and speak all type of ill things about him,
Hmm.
right? Then that husband now came and get married to her sister, and he started doing her the same thing. He's speaking to other women behind her back. He ridiculing her. He going and telling people about his sexual life and all these type of things. Just like,
It's a
what
Muslim man.
yeah, what his previous wife did to him, he was doing to his new wife. And he was not admitting it. When she telling him, well, why it is I have to pay for what your ex-wife did to you? Why I have to pay? Why I have to feel like I have to pay? Right? Then when they do reach into an argument, you're calling she a slut. And these type of thing, So
Yeah.
it have men
As
who do
as a
it have
man,
Muslim men.
as a man that knows a lot of men and deal with situations and things like that, that's not common amongst men. Allah Ta'ala gave a widow 4 months, 10 days grieving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allah Ta'ala told a divorced woman that divorce after consummation to wait 3 monthly cycles to clean out her
Yeah.
uterary walls and to refresh herself and things like that. Allah Ta'ala knows the man, he knows the woman. For some reason,
Yeah.
a widower, a man that loses his wife has no iddah. A man
know
that
that.
divorces has no iddah. So
Yeah, we know that.
men and women are not the same when it comes to this. For
Yeah.
a man to be jaded and bitter, it can happen. But it's not
Yeah.
common for men. It's more of a female trait to do that.
But
It's not common for men.
we living in a different world right now, These men are
Men have not changed.
ve-
Human beings have not
Listen.
changed.
These men are very emotional. They might be emotional where
All
you
humans
are
are
here.
men have always
You
been
see-
emotional.
Nah, the extra emotional. They're more emotional than women. When others say he made the woman emotional, these men are very emotional here in Trinidad and Tobago.
There is no man that's more emotional than a woman. A man would have to have a period before he can be more emotional than a woman.
Oh my God.
Men
I'm
are not
telling
more.
you, I came across a
Hold
lot
on,
of
hold on.
emotional men.
Only women say that, but not all women will say that. Not all. Very few women will say
I'm
that.
not saying all men.
But
I am not
no
saying
men,
all
no
men are
man,
emotional,
no
but I
man would
came
say
across-
more emotional than a
What
woman.
you
No man would ever say that.
I came across a few. Whoa, yeah, Allah. Whew.
No.
They are very
Let
emotional.
me explain something to you. Okay, I'll explain. Okay, have you ever came home and your husband sitting in the living room in the dark just crying for no reason?
No, I never saw that.
Yeah, women do it all the time. They cry for no reason, all the time.
No, we don't cry for no reason. We always have a reason to cry for.
Look, I guarantee you, women in the room. Hold on, women in this room could tell you that they have cried and didn't know why they was crying. I guarantee you. Women don't always know why they're crying. So when you say women, when you say men are more emotional than women, it's almost biologically impossible. Okay, that's
Men
called
just hide that
estrogen.
part of them.
Estrogen.
Men just hide that
It's
part.
not testosterone. It's estrogen. Now let me ask you another question. Have you ever seen a man get angry and try to kill somebody?
Yeah.
That's called emotion. That's not woman emotion though. That's emotion. That's a man. Allah made us emotional. So when people say, I know some dudes do it too because they don't understand, but men be like, why you emotional? Because I'm a human. Women be like, that guy's too emotional. Well, first of all, you want him to watch a certain movie with you that he may not want to watch. Because the movie's all about romance and crying and somebody sad. He don't want to watch that. He want to watch pow, shoot 'em up, karate, stuff like that. Car chases. But you want to watch that emotional movie, and as soon as he get angry, you emotional like a woman. Well, I guarantee you I can pick you up over my head and throw you. But you can't do that to me. So when you say I'm emotional like a woman, I get anger, I get sadness, I get depressed, I get lonely, I get all of that. All those are normal human emotions. A man being emotional like a woman is not even biologically possible. You guys have your menses, your mood swings, your this, your that. There's a lot of stuff going on. to
I came
to
across emotional men like that. You'll swear they have the menstruals also. I'm very sorry to say.
I mean, men
I
men
am
take men
telling you.
take major
I am telling you, they
major
will
offense to
just
that.
come.
Men take
Nah,
major offense
nah.
to that.
I am telling you, I have been through.
Yeah.
I saw these
I'm gonna
things
check the
already.
comments. I'm gonna check the
I
comments on
saw
this.
these. Eh?
And brother Black Mind, some problems have no solution at all. All problems have a solution. It's called Islam. Sometimes you have to. I mean, we have to establish the Islamic State before you can see Islam working. Islam doesn't have solution. Islam doesn't clean kufr. Islam gets rid of kufr.
Mm-hmm.
So all problems
Mm-hmm.
have a solution. It's just that Muslims are not willing to solve the problem. We only are prepared to complain about the problem. So
Exactly.
it says, Black Mind says, why would another man accept that though? I refuse to deal with the effects of a situation like that. Well, yeah, a lot of, yeah.
Accept what?
But talking about, I guess he's talking about not never starting at zero, a woman blaming you for everything that happened in the past and
Oh,
you had nothing to
oh,
do with
oh.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Black
Mm-hmm.
Mind says Adler is a firecracker. I can also hear her neck rolling through the screen. Oh man. Say there's an echo. Do I have an echo?
No, not for me.
Okay, well, I think Jawad said there's an echo. Okay, okay. Well, let me. There's a lot of comments, but let me see.
Read some sister comments now, and you reading comments from brothers. I don't want to hear brothers comment. Let
Oh,
me hear
oh,
some
oh.
sister comments.
Well, I'm
I
reading the
can't see
ones.
the
I'm reading the ones that
comments.
come up. Okay, Nayla says men use that to get away with a lot. I don't understand exactly. That's why I try to keep up with the comments because I don't know why. You know, I don't know what she could be. I don't know what she could actually be speaking about. I'm trying to connect the comment, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't. My apologies, Nayla. Okay. If only the black line knew what. Okay. Okay. I was credited for my good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna get to the sisters. Black Mind says I was never credited for any good another man did, but I heard and paid for bad things other men did to other women on TV and in movies. That never stopped until I left America. And that's another emotion women have. Women can, and Allah is my witness, women can have a dream and wake up and her husband's in trouble from a dream.
Yay
A
lie. Yay
woman,
lie.
a woman can watch a movie, a man treating a woman bad in a movie, look at her husband upside his head. Like he the one that wrote the movie. That's called woman emotion. Just because anger is an emotion. A man gets angry, he gets sad. That's not being more emotional than a woman. I do not agree with that thing at all.
No, but no, women are more emotional than men. That is what I
Nayla
said.
said. Nayla said, but they bring baggage as well. To my men bring baggage.
Yes, they do.
I don't think
I
so.
said that they do. Yeah.
I don't
I
think
am
so.
telling you. I am telling
But I'm a
you.
man and I know men. I'm a man though.
Okay, so
Men don't
because you
bring
is a
baggage.
man, okay,
Men
because
don't
you is
bring
a man, what
baggage.
are supposed to mean?
They don't deal with when men don't deal with what they don't want to deal with. They already didn't like a certain thing. When that woman they meet, she tries to reinvent herself. He say, "Look, I don't like a woman that talks back. Oh, I never talk back. I don't like a woman that's lazy. Oh, I'm never lazy. I don't like a woman that sit around watching
No, men
homosexuals on
come.
TV in front of the kids. And you say, "Oh, I never watch homosexuals around the kids. I wait till you go to work and watch the homosexuals on TV." Stuff like that. So they say everything you like, and as soon as you get married, you find out they everything you didn't want. Then they say, "Oh, you bringing baggage. You bringing baggage." I'm not bringing baggage. You the same thing I just left. So therefore, I'm gonna tap out. I'm tapping out. You know, that's what happens. So we all got to be honest, just like you want men to be honest. We all got to be honest. You know, one light skinned guy, Black Mind says, one light skinned guy did her friend wrong, and now she wants me to die an incel. Incel are people that can't find a woman. That's so funny. Uh, Say she didn't use the misogyny card. Jawad says she didn't use the misogyny. Okay. Uh, Black Mind says a man can be more emotional than women, but he must be trained, raised to be. Oh, he talking about the LBGT HDMI. He talking about yeah, he's talking about the 4K TV. He's not talking about yeah. You got to
You just don't
and
want
guess
to
who they
admit
raised
the
by?
reality.
Guess who they raised by? Black
You,
Mind. They raised
you,
by single
you
moms.
just, you don't want to admit the
Yeah,
reality.
there's no
That
such
is what's
thing as
going
more
on with
emotion
you.
than a woman. It just doesn't. It's not biologically possible.
No, they are not more emotional than women, but some men they are emotional. They are too emotional.
Nayla says men nowadays are super emotional, almost like the roles are reversed. Men have been
Yes,
emotional
they
since
are.
Adam. Adam was emotional. Adam sinned against Allah and he became sad. That's an emotion. Men has always been
It had,
emotional.
yeah, but they're
They
too
use terms like
emotional now.
super
Too
emotional and
emotional.
more emotional. It's just emotion.
They're
If
too
a woman is
emotional.
emotional and a man is emotional, let them meet in the middle of the street and we'll see. You know, let's do that. Men are not more emotional than women. You know,
But who say men are more emotional than women do? Nobody said that
you
though.
said it at first. You said it several times
No,
at first.
I said the men are too emotional.
You said
And
more,
Allah
and
said,
everybody in the chat saw it. You
I'm
misspoke.
more?
Maybe you said more emotional than women.
Okay.
You know,
N- Well, Allah said He make women emotional, right?
no,
And
he made human beings
they,
emotional.
these men they act too emotional now. Imagine your wife arguing with you and you standing up and arguing back with your wife and telling her hurtful. Say why she tell you something hurtful, you tell her back something hurtful, and that all they going like two girls. Who do that? Who man do that though? You and the wife going back and forth, back and forth. Who do that?
It say a black mind said a Muslim brother had a dream his wife cheated with me and he never harmed me at all. I almost got divorced because somebody had a dream. I say, what are you, Dr. King Muhammad or something? Anyway, uh, Jawad said women want men to read their minds and be their therapists.
The same thing with men.
Oh no. No,
Yes,
no, no.
yes. It have some men will just sit on their gaze. You go and you ask them what happened, nothing. But they gaze in a way, you're looking sad. Your wife cannot read your mind.
Rico said, so men don't bring kids, drama, exes. You sound unrealistic. That's baggage. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, that is baggage, we.
No, that wasn't the subject. The subject was that
No,
a
remember the
man,
sister say,
the subject is a new man, a good man meets a woman. He after she been treated wrong, according to her. If you listen to her story, she been treated wrong. She finally meets a good man. The baggage is here. We're not talking about exes and all this type of stuff. A man is still the protector. He's still the man. I know a lot of women they don't agree with that.
yeah, but you
They
not.
want all the benefits. They want all the benefits that Islam says, but none of the responsibility. Ask
Yeah,
them.
but listen,
Ask them. They
remember the
want none of the
sister now made a
responsibility.
comment and said men does come with baggage, right? And you made an example of something. But men do come with baggage. All most men does come with
We're
baggage.
talking about here. We're talking about stocking up. You know.
What you mean?
Hold on. I'm gonna give you an example. An ex-wife goes to the store, stays gone too long, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her husband goes, looks outside. She's in the car texting. She been sitting in front of the house 30 minutes texting. He know the store's not that far away. He goes to the car. Who you texting? Oh, no, nobody. She's all nervous, right? Okay. So let's say a little bit after that, they end up divorcing because he feel like she's being too shady, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He meets another woman and she stays going to the store too long. Okay? longer than what he think it should be. She gets home. Does he tell her, you cheating on me? You texting some dude? Does he tell her that? The new wife. Does he tell the new wife, you've been talking to some dude? I know for a fact you've been talking to some dude because my last wife did it. Does a man do that?
Some do.
Again, there you go. When I say as a man, is that something men do? If
No,
you
it's not
say,
something men do, but some
okay,
men will do.
then women are child molesters. Then women are child molesters.
Yeah, it has some women who are.
No, women are child molesters.
It has some women who are child molesters.
That's not is that normal for women though?
No, it's not
So it's
normal
not
for
something that
women,
women
no.
do. It's something that sick people do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if a man has a thought that his wife could be doing what the last wife did, he don't make it an issue of divorce, but a woman does. You know, like for me, for instance, I don't let my children play with my phone. They too expensive. I break them too easy. I'm not gonna let a child slobber all in my charge port, slobber all in my speaker phone and you know, where I put my headphones. I'm not gonna let a child put my phone in their mouth. You know, my phone could have all kind of germs on it. I'm not gonna let my child play with my phone. They don't make these for children, okay? They make tablets and stuff for children, not these. So when my child got my phone, I take my phone. Why don't let the child play with the phone? You think somebody gonna call? Blah, blah, blah. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's the last dude. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to hear about that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't go to clubs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I ain't do that as a Catholic. But the point is, if the last dude used to go hang out at the club and I'm hanging out at the cafe with the brothers, sitting around talking about Islam or making plans or doing stuff for the website and stuff like that, that's not the same. But if I come home and she says, boy, y'all men all the same. What? We sit around giving dawah and discussing Islam and enjoy doing that? Is that what all us men do? Because men get blamed for things they have nothing to do with. And it's in a woman's nature to do that. It's in a woman's nature to do that. Especially a woman that has a lot of dudes on her moon. A lot of dudes landed on her moon. That's what happens. She thinks everybody's an astronaut. So when a real astronaut lands, she can't differentiate. That's why I did a video long ago called Give Him Enough Room to Cheat.
Oh.
I said give him enough room to cheat, you know. Because you can't spy on people. You can't keep pressuring them and have. You might as well just be by yourself and stay out of even marriage and relationship talk because you're not qualified. You know, you might as well just be by yourself. Stay out of that talk because you're not qualified. You're not even in the game. You know, you're not even in the game. You know, you can't coach a game that you hate. You know, you can't. You got to be in the game. You know. So anyway, let me see. Black Mind says, men bring cognitive baggage in the form of honest mistakes, but not emotional baggage. Women do not tolerate either baggage in men. Either one gets us single again. In so many cultures, a man that has children and stuff like that, and you know, he's actually a valued commodity. It's actually a valued commodity. Women in many cultures are not checking for virgins. You know, they're not. They're looking for maturity, looking for stability. It's like when Mahdi Tajani had this young sister. She was 20, like early 20s. Let's say 21. Or no, she was 25. She's looking for a husband. He said, what are you looking for? I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. He said, what age? She said, 25, like my age. He said, okay, how much you want him to earn? And she said, I want him to earn this much money and all this kind of stuff. He said, so you're not interested in a 35-year-old? She said, oh, no, I don't want a 35. I want a 25. He said, a 25-year-old man makes as much as you do, sister. Y'all make the same amount of money, you know? Unless he's a YouTuber or doing some nonsense type stuff, you know? Which actually puts him in a bracket of expendable income, which means there are different women trying to get at him, you know? He's in a certain space, you know? with the YouTube thing and things like that, it's a whole different animal if you ain't teaching people Islam. And even brothers like Numan Ali Khan and brothers like that got in trouble uh, being YouTube sensations, and they were quote unquote teaching Islam. They got in big trouble. Young sisters accused them of trying to mess with them and stuff like that. You know, never was proven, but the point is proven. The point is proven that way. You know, you know. But yeah. So Ricole's saying that men with kids is baggage to her. Uh, that is generally a man's thought. That's not a woman's thought. But you know, today people are different. You know, it says, how about less in control of their emotions? No, you only control actions. You don't control emotions. Only actions can be controlled, Sister Nayla, not emotions. What makes you angry makes you angry. You don't have to go to the top of a mountain and meditate for certain disrespect not to make you angry. You know, like for instance, a person calls me a hypocrite, whether they Muslim or not. I want to knock all their teeth out their mouth. Now I control whether or not I knock their teeth out their mouth or whether I attempt to, but you know, because a hypocrite is the lowest you can be. I'm a Muslim. I'm Muslim for real, and Allah is the knower of that. You know, so when a person calls me a hypocrite, I want to knock all their teeth out their mouth, male or female. But I don't. In certain situations, I don't. I have before, but certain situations I don't because you know you have to measure the action, but you can't tell people what not to be angry about. When they are getting when they practice al wala wal bara to love and hate for Allah's sake,
Mhm.
you can't tell people what to get angry about. Hypocrite is never gonna make a believer happy. Never. Okay.
What are you doing here,
You
Blake?
know, and they say, you shouldn't get mad about that. Well, you can't tell a believer what not to get mad about. That's what Quran and Sunnah does. Let me see. Let's see. Let me see. It said, this black mind's talking to you. He says, Amira, we don't expect women to read our minds, though. The idea is insane to us. We know if we expect that, she's gone. You know, I never expect a person to read my mind. I expect a person to remember what I told them last
I
time.
I know what I'm speaking about. I was in a situation like that. My husband, he will not explain anything to me. Not if I do go and I ask him something bothering you. No, not never bothering him, but a day and he looking sad and he looking depressed. And it's like, I don't know, you want me to read your mind? I can't read minds. I don't know what's going on with you. You just they depressed. And that was breaking me down really bad as a wife. Mm-mm.
Yeah, not all men are good. All men are flawed, and not all men are good. So I'm not here to make that statement. I'm talking about men in general. Men are not more emotional than women. If you said some men are more emotional than women, I've dealt with women.
Yeah, I'm not talking about
Anybody that
different
just
men.
cries for no reason, or says they understand something but they can't explain it. Look, women are a whole different species. When you try to compare men and women, like it's gonna be a hard one. It's gonna be a hard one. But anyway, Black Mind says men aren't allowed to bring baggage. We're left for that. We can be left just because women cheated on us. Another woman cheated on us before, and she finds out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, there's many different scenarios. Can't pinpoint one. I'm trying to catch up with the comments real quick. Sister, I apologize. Nope, the man would not do that. Okay, let me see. Let me see.
How much sisters you have there?
Black Mind
And he
says
ain't
my
coming.
stepsister played with my phone and never worked again, ever. I had to destroy it and hide photos of her mom. Yeah, yeah.
And he ain't coming from Black Maya. I want to hear no more comments
My
from him. Him and
stepdaughter. I
somebody.
said stepsister, my stepdaughter. Okay, yeah. He was talking going back to when I was saying children playing with your phone and stuff like that. It's,
Mm-hmm. But he's the only
I
one
know women
commenting
that let
that.
children play with their
Give me.
phone like that. Just it's not natural for me. It just Phones have so many germs and like it's so many germs on the phone. It's crazy, you know. And they don't even sanitize the phone before they give it to the kids. They let the kids play with it, you know, because they don't want the kid to cry, you know. But anyway, I'm almost at the end of the comments. Jawad says some of them can't even fathom the idea of a good man, and when one does help, one does I guess he help be kind. She doesn't know how to act. So you know, well, I guess when he's trying to say when she finds a good man, you know, she'll not act with it. Uh, King Dog Dyer says some women uh, being treated bad for so long that when good guys come to them, it's hard for them to accept because if you never know what it means to be happy, okay. Black Mind says, Amira, talking to you again. I know a man can
Mm-hmm.
bring baggage, but they can't stay with a woman if he does. Men, even
But
without baggage, are eliminated by women who think they have baggage. That's a conundrum. Adla, sister Adla, there you go, here you go, sister. Why do you keep speaking for women?
exactly right.
Because I can.
Why?
Because I can.
No, you
Because I
can't.
know what.
You
Because I know what I'm
can't.
talking about. I know what I'm talking about.
I
And,
don't understand.
and just because it may not apply to you in some cases, it applies in general. And you have to
Okay,
speak
and
in
you see,
generalities.
okay, all right, I understand that, right? And just because it doesn't apply when I say it have some men like this and some men like that, it might not apply to you, but it do happens.
No,
It
because
do.
you know one or two people, and it's 8 billion people
I
in the
know a
world.
lot. I
It's
know a
eight
lot, but
billion
I
people in the world,
when I say one or two, I mean personally. This is things that I've been through personally
and
with my
I
past,
know
with
a
my
lot of
husbands and
personally.
them.
I would
Huh?
think I know more men than you. I
Well,
would think I
duh,
know more
yeah,
men than you.
you would.
Okay, so when I speak on behalf of men and being a man, and you speak on behalf of men, Adela don't care if you say men this and that. She don't correct that. But when I say women, then all of a sudden, oh, he can't speak for women. Like, look, the reality is there.
Yeah, you can because not all you
I
can't.
can
Let me
pull up
speak. Let me,
statistics. I can pull up statistics, guaranteed. Uh,
yeah.
King Dog Dyer says, okay, if a brother comes home from wherever he came from, and he is trying. Let me see. He's trying to reflect on his day, but his wife asks, "What's wrong?" And he says, "Nothing." Why should she get? Why should she get vexed? You know, why should she get mad? When I say nothing, uh, just give him time. When I say nothing, just give him time, and he will come back to you. Men can feel stronger by hiding their emotions, so I can see a man being more emotional. He can't see a man being more emotional. Sorry to say, you know. Okay, you see. So Jawad says sisters will want a man who works a lot and they complain he works too much. Hey, I got one coming up next week. I asked Brother Black Mind to come on. I message him, but next week it's why go getters get got. You know, why go getters get got. Men, I forgot the other part of it, but men that they earn a lot. You know, they earn a lot. When they go out and earn a lot. Put like that. They're not there for their wives. They're not there for their wives. And what does that get them? They earning to take care of their family. What does it get them being out earning to take care of your family? You'd be surprised. Let me see. Black Mind says, Amira.
Yes.
He's reading my comments
Just
because I type the most. Sorry about that. Okay. And
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah. I was
sister
hearing comment
sister
from you
Adla
like
says, we're women. You can't speak on behalf of women. You're slandering me. I never
exactly.
said she can't speak on behalf of men either. Shaking my head, fear Allah. Oh, be quiet. Be quiet.
Right?
I'll be in Philly not too long from now, and I want you to say it to my face. How about that? Let's do that.
What madness is this?
Yeah, say it to
Why
my
you not?
face. That's why I'm slandering her. You're
You,
slandering.
you, I
Well, y'all
think
y'all love throwing that word around, boy. Woo!
I think you need to come to Trinidad so we could do our show together, inshallah.
Yeah, together. We together now. Don't start.
No,
This is
gosh,
together.
you know what I mean.
No,
You know what I mean.
no.
Not
You
here,
you you
like
want you want to hit me
you know
with the
what I mean.
machete. You want to hit me with the machete. Oh, subhanallah. Okay, let me finish with this last part. This is the last. Okay, I mentioned that having no rights and just pouring out resources for something that has might be short lived. Um, I mentioned you'll never start at zero. You'll always get blamed for something that happened before you had nothing to do with. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
the the third one is uh, because of her past experience, she starts at distrust. And women say you gotta earn their trust. You gotta earn. They start at distrust, then you gotta earn their trust. Is that correct or not?
I don't think so.
Oh wow, this is interesting. Let me listen to this. Go ahead.
I don't think so because
Wow.
I speaking about me, right? I speaking about me.
I'm
I
talking about
cannot speak
women.
on nobody's behalf. I'm speaking on my behalf, right? Like for me, as I say, I was married to three different men with the
Mm,
same mind, right?
okay.
And I was broken by this one, hurt by this one, hurt by this one, right?
Okay.
Okay, so when I explain to this one the hurt that this one bring onto me, this second one bring that same hurt that this first one bring, right? I
Okay.
was able to go in another marriage, trust this one, and explain to him what I've been through, and he bring that same thing in our marriage,
Okay.
right? So here I am trusting somebody, and then when I see you moving as sneaky as my previous husband, how you want me to trust you? When I telling you this is what I used to see them doing, and this is what they used to be doing, and yeah, they was committing adultery, right? And I had my proof of all these things, and then I seen you doing these things just like these men and them. How would I trust you? After I trusted you, I explained to you what I've been through, but yet you there, like for instance, I had a husband that was extremely sneaky, like real sneaky, right?
Mm-hmm.
He always have a lock code on his phone, always chatting on his phone,
Mm-hmm.
where he will lie and say he talking to his partner and so forth. Then I came and I found out he was cheating in the marriage. I divorced him immediately, right? And then my last husband, he was extremely sneaky also, right? You will see him messaging women, and when you tell him about it, he will delete the messages
Mm-hmm.
and change his password.
On your
So
phone?
how could on his phone, right?
Oh, I thought it was on your
But then
phone.
no, but how could I trust a man like that? He will not post a picture with me at all. And if he do post a picture on his WhatsApp, he will block it from everybody from seeing it. Only I alone allowed to see it.
Say if I come to Trinidad and we do a show and you
Hmm.
finna hit me with the machete, I'm gonna take a picture.
No, I wouldn't.
And
No,
I'm,
I
I'm gonna take
wouldn't.
a, I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna post it so the police will know where. No, no, but listen though. Listen, I don't think you understood my statement. Uh,
You said trust and mistrust. What you say?
look. Okay, look. You have three husbands. Okay, before. Okay, three husbands.
Mm-hmm. I'm married
Okay,
more
you
than
said
that.
the first one was good. Okay, the first one was good.
No, I was talking about after my first husband.
Okay, after the first
I,
husband. Okay,
mhm.
uh, one failed trust. Next one failed trust. Next one failed trust. Okay,
Mhm.
because that happened, that next dude come in. You just gonna trust him from the beginning, right?
Yeah, once somebody don't give me a reason not to trust them, I I am not going to, like, judge somebody just like that. You have to give me a reason for me not to trust you.
Okay,
Have
okay,
to.
okay. That's fair. That's fair. And generally, men are like that. Some men will start
Mm-hmm.
off with distrust.
Nah, I
Some
no, you
men,
have
some
to
men
give me a
will. You know
reason.
why? You know why? Because the man has more to lose.
Yeah.
Do you know a woman can squat in your home? You bring a woman in. Islam says
Yeah.
3 months, three monthly
Yeah.
cycles of iddah. That's not what the courts say. She can take. Look, there's a woman. I'm not even gonna call her sister. Allah knows what she is. Okay, this woman was with this dude, this street prison dude, in and out of prison. I've been to prison too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about in and out of prison. That's his lifestyle. I did that before I was Muslim. Okay, now, uh, she with this dude. I think she got a baby by him. I'm not sure. She get with this good Muslim brother, right? He moves her
Mm-hmm.
into the home, lets her drive his car. You know what she did? She
Mm-hmm.
calls this dude gets out of prison, whatever, wants her back. She decided to get back with the prison dude, all tatted up, cursing, kafir dude, right? She supposed to be a Muslim. Allahu alam.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Muslim, So, uh, she get with the tatted kafir dude, foul mouth dude. Uh, she calls the police and put a protective order against him, saying she feared for her life. Guess what happened? The police
Mm-hmm.
told him, you can't go back to your own house.
Hmm.
You can't, you can't go near that car.
Hmm.
Those protective orders last up to 2 years in Texas. I don't know how long they last. Wait, and I know in this city, San Antonio, I don't know about Texas, but here where I am, they last up to 2 years. She took this man's house and his car
Hmm.
over a lie because she wanted to be with the Kafir dude, a nice,
Hmm.
good Muslim brother. So what I'm saying is that a man like that don't have to necessarily give you his ATM code, uh, give you a credit card, let you drive his nice car. He ain't got to necessarily do that. He can take you where you need to go, let you drive your own car. He don't necessarily have
Yeah.
to let you move in, put your name on the lease and the taxes on the home. That's very dangerous. In Islamically, he shouldn't do any of that because Islam gave the woman a right to own, but it didn't strip it from the man. The man has a right to own. You have the right to own. So maintain your own stuff. It's just that with him, he got to take care of you. You know,
Yeah.
he got, and that's the only default right there. But with this being said, a lot of stuff is happening. A lot of stuff is happening. So, uh, but majority of women that's been treated bad go into the relationship with distrust. Now,
Yeah.
there's a reason why you was curious about what was on his phone and who he was talking to. There was a reason.
Yeah. But he
That's
said I
something that
used to
happened
spy.
before him. Something
He said
happened
I was
before him.
he said I was spy I used to spy on him, but it's not that though. It's not like, I used to spy. I spoke to you numerous times about the sneakiness. I told you this is what I went through with this brother before, and the same thing I'm seeing from you is the same thing I used to saw from the brother before. The same exact thing.
That's called distrust. That's not
Mm-hmm.
trust. That's distrust. Because me not wanting you in my phone, I'm gonna tell you why I don't want you in my phone. I don't want you in my phone because people have texted me their business.
Mm-hmm.
Husbands, couples, wives. They've texted me, my husband, your friend is doing such and such. Could you please talk to him? That's none of my wife's
Yeah.
business. That's none of her
Of course
business.
not. Of course not.
And Allah says spying is haram. Women don't care about that.
Mm-hmm.
Women actually don't care about that. Allah and His Messenger say a lot of things that a lot of women in general don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
It's just true. Now, you can say a lot of men don't care about some things in Quran and Sunnah too. That is a fact. But a man don't emotionally disagree with Islam. He don't. Matter of fact, I don't know men that disagree with Islam. I know men that follow opinions that kind of fit their desires, but
Yeah.
but not make up stuff out the top of their head. Not just arbitrarily make up stuff. that fits their that try to change Islam to fit their desires. But men may gravitate toward an opinion. Like for instance, there's an opinion if your wife is not maintaining the house, you don't. Now, if your wife is disobedient, you don't have to spend on her. That's an actual valid Islamic opinion because Allah says because the men maintain and protect, the women are devoutly obedient. Allah says because men do this, women do this. It's like an illah. It's called a reason to be. Because men are doing this, then women do this. Okay, that's what it says.
But I had read though. Okay, you say if a woman don't maintain the house, right? A man don't have to spend on her, right?
Okay.
Okay. But I was reading, I don't know if it was a hadith or if it was our opinion from the scholar. A man who do not provide for his wife and maintain for his wife, she doesn't have to sleep with him. She doesn't have to give him no intercourse.
That's true. That's true. That's true too. Both are true. Both are true.
And a lot of sisters don't know that, eh?
The other opinion is that even if your wife is disobedient,
Listen, but you doing
no, I'm sorry. If
Sorry.
your wife is disobedient, you still should take care of her. You still should maintain her because see, sometimes women will go through a phase. You don't want to make lack of maintenance become an issue. You don't want that to happen. But nevertheless, in the same way with a woman withholding intimacy, some ulama say if he's not spending on you, still don't withhold intimacy. That produces another problem. It produces another problem. So again, like I said, we know what the rule is and we know what the exceptions to the rules are. And some scholars say because it might be just a phase, keep the status quo. So it goes both ways in those regards. But the last thing I'll mention is that I mentioned it in prior shows. The more body counts, and I'll say I don't think that this pertains to married women. I think this pertains to women that like to mess with randoms. And just like I told you, Allah says, marry the believing women, the believing women that are muhsanat are lawful to you, just as the people of the book, the women of the people of the book that are muhsanat are lawful to you. Allah says muhsanat. So if a woman is not, if a woman has mileage, put it like that, if a woman has mileage, her ability to love genuinely the next man, it decreases. What the actual percentages are, is something that happened. They actually did medical studies for this. It's something that actually happens to the woman inside of herself. That's why a woman should be what? Muhsanat, guarded. Muhsanat is like, you ever see the wall around a castle? You ever see those fairy tales with the wall around the castle? Or if you've been to the Muslim land, the king's castle has a big wall around it. That's called a husn. That's a husn, okay? It's called a husn. This husn is a fortress. That's how a woman should guard her reputation. Don't let everybody have knowledge of you. Don't be out certain hours of the night where people will start spreading rumors about you, stuff like that. Don't be in the company of dudes talking to them, just loose chatting, riding with people, and you're not married, posting uncovered, things like that. That's a suspicion that you're putting on yourself. It's nobody having genuine, just out of the blue suspicions of you. You're putting that suspicion on yourself because you're carrying yourself in such a way. So with that being said, that's why women that don't have a bad reputation in society are qualified this way, and it doesn't mean virgin. It doesn't mean virgin, because if it means like they say it means virgin when it comes to people of the book, but it don't mean virgin for the Muslim women. Can't have it both ways. It's all the same ayat. It's the same Arabic. You can't have it both ways. But nevertheless, there's a few comments. I'm gonna catch up with the comments and then we'll see if we can close it out, inshallah ta'ala. It says, Black Mind said, if a man told the same story, he'd be grilled for how he chooses wives. Even though men have fewer choices, I know of this firsthand. Yeah, we do. We can only marry a woman that's single. Women can marry a man that's married if she wants to. King Dog Dyer says, okay, if you're reading the Quran, every time you turn a page is something new you read. So why you tell me of your past when you're trying to make a new part for us? That's a good analogy. You see, last one. Abdurrahman Khaddam Al Jami says, Sheikh, you hit it on the nail. Women change Islam upon their emotion. That's very true. I've witnessed it a lot. I mean, especially someone that, studies Islam, teaches a little bit of it,
Who changes Islam more than men do?
women. They change it
Who?
emotionally.
No. Nah, men does change Islam to their own desires. Trust me.
Nah,
Trust and believe me. I know who
no.
changes Islam more than men.
Well, we're not going to agree on that one because I talk to Muslims all the
Because what?
time, men and women. I talk to them all the time. We deal with each other all the time. They call me about all kind of crazy stuff.
Remember, you live in a different country than I live in
Well, I
a
mean,
different than
well,
I live.
if I live in a different country, I live in a bigger country too. It's bigger,
Yeah,
it's
you
more
do.
people, and I deal with more
You
people.
do.
So, because I deal with more people, I'm telling you that men don't change Islam based on emotion, and you can't change
They,
Islam
they change it based on the desires.
based on their desires. Oh, okay, well,
Yes.
that's another way to
Yes.
put it. They change it
A
based on their
brother tell me,
desires.
but a brother watch me and tell me nothing wrong with him speaking to sisters once they have boundaries. Where in the Quran Allah said that though? Because why? You just want to mingle with sisters and you want to mingle with brothers' wives. So nothing wrong with that because you want to please your desires.
You know what I told my wives? I told them, I said, if you have any complaint about me, you're free to go to any imam, and you're free to go to any person of knowledge, male or female. So I've sat down in couples counseling with an Egyptian sister, who was advising me about my marriage. I've sat with old African brother. I've sat with an Arab brother. I've sat with a Pakistani sheikh, stuff like that. So wherever my wife felt like she could go somewhere and find justice, she was allowed to do so. I never held her back from that. So when someone says changing Islam, a lot of times what she found out is that her understanding of Islam was all twisted. So she had to make a decision. Do you like Islam or you mad about Islam? Because just because a woman feels emotional about a certain topic or a certain situation, and she may have found a hadith in English that sounds good. She may have found an ayat in Quran in English that sounds good. It may not necessarily be the proper understanding, but she found it and it sounds good, especially in the English language, you know. So again, that's what's happening. It happens sometime. Sometime I'm wrong, sometimes she's wrong, but a lot of times I'm talking about when women say, now, it don't mean that. I'm like, did you even study it? I'm like, it's crazy because like I know brothers make mistakes about it all the time. I've made mistakes about different understandings, but I've never adopted an understanding because I felt emotional a certain way, or my desires were a certain way. I didn't adopt an understanding based on that. The first Catholic woman that asked me to marry her, I told her, "You're a prostitute. I can't marry you." But she wasn't a prostitute, a streetwalker. She had a child that was almost 1 year old, when she asked me to marry her. And the way I met her, my family knows her family from childhood. Her family almost grew up together, basically, right? So that's how we know each other, from family. And I told her she was a prostitute. And when I was telling this Muslim brother the story, man, this Catholic asked me to marry her, man. What did you say? I told her she a prostitute. I can't marry her, And the brother said, brother, you shouldn't have said that. I said, why not? She had a child outside of wedlock. He said, let me explain it to you. So we broke open the actual Islamic books in all Arabic and read what the scholars said and stuff like that. And I had to go back and apologize to her. You know what I'm saying? But that was the issue within itself. I thought a certain thing, But when Islam came, I took the Islamic road and went and actually apologized to a kafir. I apologized for saying what I said because I was not correct in what I said. Now, I've sat with women in meetings, you know, about certain particular Islamic issues, and they told the sheikh, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Because they took that position. But of course, you know, to each his own, and many situations are different, but a lot of them are the same. So I guess it is my conclusion is that it is very dangerous to be the first man to treat a woman right. To be
No,
the
why you say that?
after all the dudes treated her wrong, you're not starting with a clean slate. You're not starting at on equal ground. You're not starting from a fair and balanced position. You're not
When
starting
you
at
say
the start.
that,
You're not.
when
You're
it
not.
when you said I will make brothers not want to get married to me,
Who?
I said when you say that, right, you will make brothers not want. I wouldn't get a husband. I wouldn't find a husband.
You'll always find a man. I'm talking about a good man.
I want to find a good husband,
Okay,
inshallah.
inshallah, you want to find a good husband. I know for a fact that he will not start at zero with you. Do you know as a woman you still have the DNA? I mean, even
Yeah,
after that, you
yeah,
he's not
yeah.
now. Why
I
won't
was
he,
reading.
why he's not starting with zero DNA? Why there's another
Yeah,
man's DNA there? It's just a reality, you know. We
I
start
was
at a
reading.
disadvantage, but see the good part is that look, you'll be under his care, you know. And walaikum salam, King Dog Dyer. I apologize we ran so long, but the brother got to get to sleep. I'm sure. I think that was his sayonara. I think he's leaving. I'm not sure. Wallahu alam. Walaikum salam in any case. But I'm saying like that is just a reality. But you're coming under the man's care. You know, you're coming under the man's care. So therefore, and because he's allowed to have more than one, then that kind of softens the blow on him. You know, it kind of softens the blow. He's allowed to have more than one. That softens the blow for him. But if a woman takes away the incentive and say, "Now I should be enough," and all this type of stuff, and like, okay, then you're not desirable anymore. I'm not saying you. I'm saying a lot of women, they price themselves out the game because they think that they should be more than enough for a man. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Abdurrahman says, wasn't Aisha anha who said that if there was an ayah in the Quran which the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would hide it, would be the one which talked about Zayd? Isn't it interesting that it comes from a woman? I'm trying to figure out. I don't understand your angle, Akia. I understand understand the ayat you're talking about, because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he what do you call that? He arranged that marriage, trying to destroy certain societal taboos from Jahili, Jahili taboos, and he had to go back and nullify the marriage, and annul the marriage. But I think I kind of understand where you're coming from, but it takes explanation. Abdurrahman says, with all my respect to the mother of the believers, she's still a woman. Indeed, she was. She was indeed a woman. Alhamdulillah. So I think I'm going to close out with this topic. You can take your own perspective. I think a man that marries a woman, he's the first man to treat her right. That's why you should go for widows. Widows are better than divorce. Widows are better than divorce. Single, never married is better than widows. Widows are better than divorce. And then divorce single moms, and then divorce no children is better than divorce single moms, and then never married no kids is better than all of that, which means AKA virgin. That's the SMV, the sexual market value.
Who said that?
No, it is. That's the way men think. That's the way men think.
Who said that just now? Who said that?
Virgins, single, no children, non-virgins, no children. Then single, one child. Okay. Uh, widow, single, more than one child. It goes like that. Divorcees are right. Divorcees are right after single, no children. Divorcees are right there. Divorcees. No, why? Because they don't have to deal with the baby daddy. They have to deal with the baby daddy. They can readily adopt that child, and have rights on that child, medical rights, so on and so forth. That's the way it works. I mean, a lot of good women that have children, but you didn't make them children by yourself. So that means that every new husband got to deal with something. They got to deal with all the choices in the past. It's just a reality. Rico just said that, men come with baggage too. They got they got exes and they got children and
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I think some women are more bitter than men. So
Some women are better
even
than
when
men.
these
Some
some
women
women are more bitter than men.
they better than
Uh,
men. Well,
bitter,
bitter,
bit,
bitter. Okay, bitter.
bitter.
Yeah, bitter. Yeah.
Yes,
Uh, well, I,
men just come with baggages, but
I don't think some. I think it's most, a vast majority. Men are violent. You can tell when men are bitter. Men get violent. Women get violent because the police and everybody else is going to help them. But it takes a while for the police to get there. So that man got to make a
no.
decision. Do I go to prison for the rest of my life or let this woman act a fool and scratch me up? But it's a crazy scenario.
Mm.
It says Melanie King and Donovan. Okay, he said Black Mind says Melanie King and Donovan Sharp's girlfriend admitted that women don't want to be the first to treat a man well. If this is how women feel, then the first men to treat a woman will suffer for it. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Well, I'm going to move on to my delusional dating profile of the week. You want to stick around for that, sister? Inshallah.
I think I will leave
Okay.
because I have to get up just now, inshallah.
Yeah. What time is it there?
5 to 1
5 till 1 a.m. p.m.
a.m.
a.m. Wow, subhanallah.
Yeah, so I have to get up just now,
Wow.
inshallah, to pray.
I apologize so much.
No problem.
You shouldn't have been arguing with me.
Huh?
I said you shouldn't have argued with me.
No, 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 no. I
Inshallah.
enjoy the show though. I enjoy the conversation. I
Okay.
enjoy it. I enjoy the life.
Inshallah, next time we'll
So
argue some more, inshallah.
I just want to get up in time to pray, inshallah. So,
Okay, inshallah. Shukran for
all
coming
right.
on. Assalamu alaikum wa
Afwan.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay. I'm going to do this delusional dating profile of the week, inshallah ta'ala, and then I'm going to be outie myself. I have things to do. I have a life. This is Will It. Will it? Will it? Yes, it will. Anyway, Will It here is, let me scoot to this side, is 53. For those that didn't know, this is my delusional dating profile of the week, where I go and pick out a dating profile for Muzmatch or Facebook dating or one of these things, and I find one that is very entertaining and telling, coming from the mentality of certain women. Uh, I don't know how to get the men's profiles. Someone would have to screenshot it and send it to me. I don't know how to get the men's profiles. I'm not on there, reading men's profiles. Nevertheless, Willet is 53. She says, after the pick comes the conver. So she's trying to be hip at 53, okay? 1 year older than myself. She says after the pick, meaning that you pick, I guess you pick the person, okay? Uh, then comes the conversation. She says conver. I don't know why she's being fly like that. Okay. Uh, she says can't be judgmental, stuck up, or weird. Okay. Can't be judgmental, stuck up, or weird. Can be fun, kind. Okay. Now Black Mind is going to read this, and he's going to read this. He's going to pick it apart. He's going to say, pick is P-I-C if you're going to abbreviate picture. You don't put P-I-C-K after the pick, after the picture is P-I-C. He's going to kill that. He's going to say conver is not short for conversation. Black Mind is going to say can't be judgmental, stuck up. There should be a space after the comma in the stuck. Should be a space. Or weird. Okay. Black Mind would say can be fun, comma kind. Should be can be fun and kind. There's no need for a comma there. Okay. So let me get out of my Black Mind state of mind and just continue with the post. Okay. It says, don't analyze me. It's a turn off. Do not be sexual towards me. It's a turn off. And you could tell she's banging on the keyboard like Caesar. She going, ooh, 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 ah, ah, ah. She's banging on the keyboard, like she doing the monkey thing, because the spacing, all that stuff is like off, but I'll try to soldier through. Which is why I'm talking about. She took the Vex, maybe. That's why she is crazy. Oh, took the Vax. Okay, there we go. Okay, I got you. IQ 53 is still too young. For me, has too many emojis. Okay. So it says, don't be sexual towards me. It's a turn off. Okay. We do not know E. Ooh, man. Or Black Mind to kill that. I don't know if he's even watching right now. He'll kill that. We do not know E other. I guess you're trying to say each other. And it's repulsive. I'm almost getting to the part that I really picked this for. Woo! Let me try that again. Yeah. Gotta stretch a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Roll my shoulders. Okay, here we go. We do not know E other and it's repulsive. Okay, to be sexual. It's a turn off. Y'all don't know each other. It's repulsive. Okay, see, punctuation would have helped. Proper punctuation. If you're not vaccinated, leave me alone. So now, that's what we got. Look, Black Mind says everything that involves giving or accountability is a turnoff to her. I think real life is a turnoff to her. That's possible. Oh, wow, y'all. Here go that part. If you're not vaccinated, leave me alone. Okay. Black Mind, back me up. If you're not vaccinated, it's not a sentence. That's not a sentence. That's incomplete. No period should be after vaccinated. I'm just pointing to the mentality of a 53-year-old woman that types like a child. A 53-year-old woman older than me. And I'm like fine dirt old. She put a period after vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated, leave me alone. Black Mind says she has eliminated only the things for which she's any good. Okay. I need proof before we will ever meet. She need proofs of vaccination. She need proofs of vaccination. Shouldn't she only be worried about her being vaccinated? If her concern is that she could get it from you. They say if you're vaccinated, you won't die. You're less likely to die. So on and so forth. So not only now, oh man, I wish I could. Let me see I'm trying to figure out how she looked. I forgot how she looked. I didn't put any comments about her physical appearance, so I forgot how she looked, man. It's something about it. I should have said something. I should have made a note. But anyway, so I need proof before we can ever meet. So she said she won't meet you unless you got proof you vaccinated. I guess you gotta FaceTime your proof or something like that. Anyway, no hookup. Checking this out. I am fully vaccinated and looking forward to my booster. Do they put alcohol in that vaccine? Is there like a high alcohol content, like some Hennessy or something in that vaccine? She's fully vaccinated and looking forward to her booster. Like, who talks like that? Is this somebody that you would want to get to know? SubhanAllah. Black Mind says, you're right. If you're not vaccinated, it's not a sentence in any language. Jawad says, brother, tell her to wait another 50 years. Someone might come along. Well, it's going to take that long. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going to try to get her address so we can all send her a cat apiece. Or we can pitch in on a cat. I think we should all go to the ASPCA, whatever you call that thing. We get the free cats, the rescues, and and send her a bunch of cats, just a bunch of cats, and a bow and arrow. She could put the cats in the bow and arrow. Anyway, like they do on Family Guy, I think. So Simpsons got the cat lady that shoots cats too. So I am fully vaccinated and looking forward to my booster, which I would think contains Everclear, some strong, non-filtered alcohol. Anyway, please call me Willow. Now I'm gonna stick with Willette. Because what dude will let you get in his car? What dude will let you sit across from him at a restaurant and pay for your meal? What dude will let you get close enough to him to get to know him to decide whether or not y'all want to extend that relationship? You go ahead and keep getting boosted, baby. Keep getting boosted. Your president just caught COVID, got rid of it, and got COVID again a couple of days later. Man, look, all that. Anyway, so yeah, that's the delusional dating profile of the week. What of this profile is attractive? What of this profile screams, hey, holla at me, look at me, be with me, What of this profile screams that? What of this profile screams that this woman is seriously seeking a mate, that matching up, mating or marrying is actually the goal? None of it. None of it. Do I have to give you a wedding band, or can I just pay for your booster? This is crazy. This is amazing. This is amazing. She should get vaxxed until Judgment Day. I say once a month, on the first of every month, she should get vaccinated and boosted on the 15th, the 1st and 15th. Vaccinated every 15th, get another boost. Vaccinated every 1st and boosted on every 15th. Because it seemed like she's looking for Dr. Fauci. It don't seem like she's looking for us. Nevertheless, she's 53. She's probably just so gorgeous. Allahu alam. She's probably just so gorgeous, because it don't matter how much, it don't matter how you look or whatever, everything is, mashallah. I'm ugly. I accept the fact that I'm ugly. I accept it. My kids don't know how ugly I am yet, but the older ones do, but, the younger ones still think I'm, something to look at. But nevertheless, this is crazy, subhanAllah. Jawad says, Akhi Willett is too strong and independent. SubhanAllah, he said, Akhi Willett, Akhi Willett. Yeah, that's an akh. It's damn near an akh. Akhi Fauci, that's Akhi Willett. SubhanAllah. Anyway, I've overstayed my welcome. It's been over 3 hours, subhanAllah, man. This time flies when you're having fun arguing with that sister. But thank you all for tuning in. Inshallah ta'ala, I'm going to talk about next Saturday how the first masjid of San Antonio got closed, Masjid Luqman. Inshallah ta'ala, you all will enjoy that. I might have to do a two-parter for my Amu Yum Yum the podcast on Saturday. I might have to do a two-parter. There's a lot of information there. You'll think I'm making some of it up. Guaranteed. You'll be surprised who helped close the masjid. I don't trust none of them. This has been your brother, Saudi Mam for X Factly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.